know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. I got to get stuff out of me here. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, who's coming on the feed shortly. Just waiting on him. Y'all, we had after the show, it was crazy over the weekend. After the show, we had something happened that we weren't able to get into our old Chop Shop page, so we had to redo a new page. And this page, and if y'all remember, that page was unofficial, and I guess they just they had to get us. We had to switch and get to the right name. So we are the Chop Shop Htx from now on. So if you had friends on the other page, make sure you share them, because we're locked out of that page. We can't announce it to them yet. So we're going to depend on y'all to get it done for us. So thank you so much. So if the people who were over there, if they didn't get my my email last night, or my message over the last few days, but we'll get together. But guess what? YouTube is in the building. I got, who is that? Let me get my starting five today. Let me tell y'all something. I got a special starting five today. First of all, Minnie Collins. Anytime Minnie is on there, it's special. But we got Derek Johnson, we got Rod Wells, Dr. John Newsom, Mindy Collins, and Kim Jackson. But somebody popped up on the feed real soon, and I'm not used to him popping up on. And that's Stacy Houston from Dallas, Texas, is in the building. Y'all, we had a great. Let's go. I'm waiting on Jimmy to initiate, but he ain't came in yet. But I got to get the show to roll. So this was gonna happen. Let's show you how we're gonna do it today. Got something unique for y'all. Saw something last night, y'all. It's a Monday. I got LeBron James, Russell Wilson. Before I went to bed last night, did y'all see how much sports was on TV last night? Did y'all see? You had to go. I had all the TVs working. I don't know how y'all. The Astros was on. They got beat. Man, God, I didn't get the chance to see it because I kept going back. I know the LeBron James, the NBA Finals was a blowout, but I wanted to make sure I saw the end of this. So it was just a crazy night. But you know what? LeBron got his title, and Russell Wilson led one of the greatest comeback drives of the NFL season so far. But y'all, it's becoming a pattern here. I want y'all to follow me. Hey, Mindy, I want y'all to follow me on this one. Okay? Check this out. In Miami, LeBron James, when he went to Miami, what's up, Troy Callahan? In year two, he won the title. Check this out, Stacey. Went back to Cleveland. Year 2, he won the title. Okay? Year 2, he won the title. Check this out now. Went to LA. Year 2, won the title. That's what he does, man. Let me tell you something. Michael needed Scotty, but all LeBron needed was a ball. And y'all, let me tell you, the season is over, The bubble champion has been crowned as the Lakers defeat the Heat 4-2. But y'all, let me tell y'all something, man. The NBA and hey, Tony, cruises by Tony in the building. The NBA accomplished what many of y'all, we were skeptical. 3 months of professional basketball without an outbreak of COVID-19. Again, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Kevin Drones? Masking, physical distance, hand washing, and regular testing works. But y'all, let me tell y'all who my real MVP of that bubble. Malika Andrews. That's the young lady, and I implore you, go to the Undefeated and read that article about her troubled childhood. Not get, with the law, but just rebelling against her parents, or, messing up at school and all this. But this young lady, y'all got to read that story of redemption with Malika Andrews. Then we got, but let me show you. Reason she my MVP, and I'm gonna bring Jimmy in. She spent over 100 days in that NBA bubble, working damn near every single day, bringing us incredible insight and professionalism to every hit game story. I'm certainly not surprised, but remain in awe of her talent and ability. Proud of you, Malika Andrews. No, I don't know you, but I've been reading up on you, and it was. Please, y'all, go check out the story of Malika Andrews and Jimmy. Let me see, Jimmy, you ready over there? Let me see. Can I bring you in? Let me see. Can I bring you in? Oh, hold on. Let me pop you in the screen right there. Oh, there you is. What's up? Center yourself a little bit, Jimbo. Center yourself. You're over to the left a little bit. Yeah, just center yourself. Yes, yeah, there you go. There you go. But man, what's up, man? Heck of a weekend of sports. All of those sports on TV at the same time, Jimmy. Jimmy, your Astros didn't get it done. It was a close game, and I know you're gonna have your soliloquy of why they lost that game because you said something about 7 runs. I want to hear the 7-run thing again today. I want to hear that. They want to hear me. They said turn my volume up a little bit. Hold up, turn my volume up loudest. Oh, I turned it down. My bad. All right, hold on. Okay. Who's that want to hear me? Wesley Yates. Wesley Yates. You really don't. Man, I can get loud now. But Jimmy, guess what, man? Is that better? Just let me know if that's better. I just turned it down. Ooh, I turned it up too high because they saying red button. Y'all gonna get me in trouble. But Jimmy, what's going on the weekend? We had a mishap with our Facebook page. But we're going to gradually get everybody to know where we're at. Tell your friend, tell another friend. And if they're not sure, maybe they'll come on to YouTube today. But Jimmy, what's up, man? What's up over the weekend? What you got?
Oh, man. Plenty what we got. We're gonna go over our football picks shortly. But speaking of the Astros, they fall 2-1 to the Tampa Bay Rays on yesterday. I watched most of the game, going back and forth, flipping channels from the Lakers and the Astros. Long game for the Astros last night. And once again, when I say once again, meaning that our bats were not hot as they were. I think 2 things happened. Missed opportunities. Astros stranded 10 runners on base. And and I don't expect everybody to know baseball, but if you strand 10 runners on base when the stakes are this high, that means when guys were especially in runners in scoring position, that means if a runner is on second base or third base and you don't advance those runners, those are missed opportunities because normally, depending on where the ball is hit, a base hit will score your average baseball player from second base. Your average, now the kid talk about with speed. That's what I mean by the average. The average with speed. Meaning if a player got average wheels or better, he scores on a base hit from second base. We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay. When the bases were loaded, I'm sorry. When the bases were loaded, was it 1 out, 2 out, 3 out? Which one? What was it?
Man, we've had the Astros had the bases loaded on 2 or 3 occasions on last night. And one time, the last time, the bases were loaded with 1 out.
Wow.
And I think Yuli hit into a double play. Bases loaded 1 out. Remember, we only need 1 run to tie.
You got to score that. Yeah, got to score that one.
So that means the worst case scenario, your job. This is understand. And I love try to simplifying the fraction of baseball, makes it a little bit funner next time. But the worst case scenario, number 1, you don't hit a ground ball, right? Because ground ball equals double play equals the inning is over. You want to hit the ball hard into the outfield. Preferably, you can get it to right field. That means it's called hitting behind the runner. That means the runner from second base can also tag up and go to third. That means the runner that's going home from third, he tags up. So you want to hit behind the runner. That's 1-on-1.
But he was
But these are
trying to. You
pros.
think, Jimmy? You think he didn't do it intentionally, did he?
No, you didn't do it in the kitchen, but you got to get that ball up. You see, hitting the ground ball. He hit it hard. They had what they call a shift on. And a shift meaning, and you see more shifts nowadays. A shift is when defenses in baseball, sometimes how we grew up, the shortstop played at the shortstop, the third base played at third base, second base is over there on the other side of the bag, and first base. Well, shifts mean they would take one of those guys. Let's say if it's a right-handed batter, and let's say if you're batting and you used to pulling the ball, hitting it to your left side of the field.
Analytics.
Well, they would bring
so that's a form
and you
of
don't
analytics,
know,
right?
yeah, I mean, and it's the old-fashioned analytics. I mean, you don't need analytics to tell in baseball this guy is going to hit it hard, but he's going to hit it to the left. He's going to hardly ever sacrifice and go to the right side of the bag hitting the ball. So they would bring this. So what the hell are used the second baseman to play on second base? He will move over to either behind the second base bag or over where the shortstop in that side of the territory. Shortstop will move over and kind of play a little rover. That way he can cover the third baseman and he can cover some more ground and basically succeed. So that means now even first base will come over just a little bit. Not much because he got to cover his bag.
Right.
And I've seen it where the Rays, they've even put at one time, they've even shifted and put one of the infielders in outfield and had 4 outfielders before. So, but at the same time, Astros and sure enough, the game-winning hit that got by Altuve from the Rays, that was a shift on. Altuve was over on the other side of the bag, over by shortstop. He just wasn't over far enough. And that guy hit that ball hard enough and got through the hole. This was a well-pitched game, but Astros did not capitalize. We out-hit the Tampa Bay Rays. We had more runners on the bases. We had opportunities when the meat of our lineup was batting, and we just did not capitalize. That game, I'm afraid to say it, probably was the series for the Astros because you don't let games like that get away. You don't let games get. And
I'm glad you're telling me this because I didn't see the whole game. It's just too much. Russell Wilson was on one channel. LeBron was on one channel. I just couldn't see it all. I got it all taped, but I just couldn't see it all. What's new, Jeffrey Day? Yeah, but Jimmy, I mean that's unique, man, about the Astros. So you think this game right here, this winnable game, is going to come back and haunt them? That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I hope it don't, but I really feel that it will. Because guess what?
Tampa Bay that good.
But guess what? Our bets didn't come to light. Theirs didn't either. So they're saying the same thing. Astros are not going to hold Tampa Bay to 6 hits.
Who is that dude who hit that home run, man? Who is that dude who did that home run? I think the phone, but he looked black.
I'm talking about the rookie? Randy.
He's a rookie?
Yeah, Randy. Yeah.
What's his last name?
It's funny, but hard to pronounce.
Okay.
I don't want to chop it all the way up.
That's him.
One of you guys put it on there, and I can see it once it put on there.
Come up in the screen a little bit, Jim. Come up in the screen a little bit. Sit down. Yeah. All right.
He's a rookie. He's a rookie, and he's only 23 years old. One thing about baseball, he's another Cuban. Man, do you realize how many Cubans were playing last night?
No.
Man.
I didn't keep up with it.
Dude. Once again, remember we talked earlier about the White Sox. How they had 8 of 9 starters was from down there from either Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Cuba. Hey, man, this Tampa Bay, this dude Randy, the Major League Baseball is in great hands. What we are witnessing right now is a lot of players who have emerged over the past year or two and put their names out there. Think about it. You off the top for just the casual, the nonchalant baseball fan. You know about Acuna from Atlanta. You know about Fernando Tatis Jr.
It's my man.
Think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Acuna, Tatis Jr. Now that's what winning does. The world is being introduced to Randy. What's his last name? Y'all, somebody put up there for me yet? Rosarina. Rosarino.
No, that ain't the guy I'm talking
So,
about. This is a guy start with an A. Guy last names begin with an A.
Yeah, all Rosarino, something like that. That's Randy.
Okay,
That's Randy.
okay. That same guy.
Dude,
Okay.
he ate the Yankees up, lit them up. And I mean, so their lineup doesn't have as many designer names as the Astros.
Yeah.
But they match us with power on offense, and their pitching is better, is more validated than our young pitching staff. So today on the mound, a former Astro, Charlie Martin, is starting for Tampa Bay. I don't remember who's starting for the Astros, but pay attention. Astros, we got to win this one. Now, I don't understand why they put the game today at 4:00. So I mean, the American League will have played twice before the National League even played one game.
Yeah, it's all right. They just staggering it. So what, Jimmy? Where we gonna go? Because we got to take a quick break.
I got one question. We got a quick break as we go into the break. I got one question.
Okay.
Yankee fans, how about them damn Yankees? Where them Yankees at?
Hey, we ain't talking about nobody. They at home.
What time they play?
They don't play.
What time Garrett Cole gonna pitch? All that money you gave Garrett Cole, when's he gonna pitch for?
But I don't know, but I know Mookie.
I'm asking for a friend.
I think Mookie gonna play tonight though. Chop Shop, we'll be back. Hey, mama. I had to leave the locker room. They going crazy in there right now. I had to get away. Oh my God. Yeah, mama. I had to come. I just got done off the phone with the wife and the kids and the family. I'm calling you. I love you. I love you. You're the reason you are the reason why I'm able to even do this, mom. You don't understand. 16 years old, you bring a little ass, big-headed ass boy into the world. Come on, man. Like everything that you've been through, everything that I've seen, there's nothing that can stop me. Because this shit is right here this is nothing compared to the shit you had to go through. God is good. God is great. I hope I continue to make you proud, Mom. Mama. Hey, you see this bad boy? You see that bad boy? What he did tonight? Hey, he was a bad mother. Shut your mouth tonight, wasn't he? Oh my God. We had to, Mama. We had to. We came out like somebody had stole our bike off our damn porch. I had just got a brand new mongoose with the pegs on the back, and they stole that motherfucker off the porch. We had to come out guns blazing. I love you. I'll call you as soon as I get some free time again, but I had to check in with you. I love you so much. I ain't I'm nothing. I'm without you. You are the reason I'm here. You're special. I love you. Wow. Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. That was the best 2 minutes of my day. LeBron congratulating his mom. Son, Mom, I'm lost without you. I'm nothing without you. And it's just amazing. And it's a bit like Sonia Billings, he says, a beautiful thing. And Mindy, LeBron was not the only one who kept his shirt on during the interview. Contavious Caldwell Pope kept his shirt on too, because his wife was right there and she don't play. And y'all do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go to YouTube and look up Contavious Caldwell Pope's wife. I forgot her name. He KCP and she something else CP. And look up her YouTube videos about her being in the bubble. A great little documentary. She's a little over the top. And she said, everybody know I do the most. And guess what? She's down there doing the most. Jimmy, she talked about how she picked out her outfit. She showed you how she picked out how the outfits for the bubble. Y'all got to go and check, especially the women. But y'all go check that out. But Jimmy, I know when we came back, LeBron, and I played that segue because I know LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers are the world champions today. They are the world champions. And I mean, the dude just good. Jimmy, I said earlier, I don't know if you had got on the show. I said that when he went to Miami, 2 years of title. He went back to Cleveland, 2 years of title. Went to L.A., 2 years of title. Jimmy, that's just what he does. And I comment, I said, Michael needed Scotty. All this guy needed was a ball. And he traveled and he won. Man, let me tell you something. To all, I don't understand the vitriol. Me personally, I like the Lakers, but I just didn't like Jimmy. I didn't respect him, try to stack the team. And then I realized that, guess what? When I like I said, when you know better, you do better. So when I came back and just looked at what he did, all he tried to do is put himself in a position like an owner. He said, man, wherever I go, I want to win. So I want to make sure I'm putting myself in a position to win. And when I go back and think about stuff like that, man, I'm so proud of this man. I'm especially proud of him off the floor, off the court, because the man that played 17 years, married his high school sweetheart. Y'all, it hasn't been a scandal. It hasn't been this. He hasn't been this. He ain't beat his wife. He ain't did this. And I ain't saying that what people normally do. I'm just telling you, after 17 years, this young man, and he empowered the people around him. Now the people around him are rich. See, Jimmy, I've been around the NBA a long time, Jimmy. Been around the NBA a long time, Jimmy. And I sit back and look and watch these guys. They don't want to empower the guys around them. They don't want to empower the guys. Of course, we always going to have a different opinion. That's right. That's why it's called opinion, Martin Vaughn. But let me finish. But Jimmy, this young man empowered the guys around him. I'm going to help you. Maverick Carter right now can move around LA in that space, in that movie space, on his own now. Rich Paul is the only agent that was allowed to go into the bubble. LeBron James and he sit back, all of this come from the powerful love that his mom had from him. And you can see that right there, and the stuff she been through, and the ridicule, people talking about what she's doing. That kid loved his mom, and that man loved his mom, and ain't nothing in his eyes y'all can say about his mom. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. LeBron James, yes, he's a bad man. So Jimmy, what you got?
I mean, remember I said this, and I continue to say this and remind. This should be, they have what they call. We learned this is an election year, and for many of us have become abreast of the term talking points, and a lot of talking points that people will have when it comes to, because eventually, once again, you could talk about Michael Jordan all day without bringing up LeBron James. But in most conversations, you can't talk. The more you talk about LeBron, eventually you're going to have to talk. The name Michael Jordan is going to come into the conversation. And here's what the talking point that I'm applying to you guys so that you can be able to transfer, and it serves as somewhat of an antidote, and that is to getting baited in. And I said, here's the analogy. Michael Jordan may have been the best movie that many people have ever seen in their life when it comes to attributing to a basketball, an analogy I'm using. Well, we're watching the LeBron James movie, and we don't know how long the movie is going to even last. We don't know if this movie is a 2 hour and 30-minute movie, a 3 hour movie. We don't know if it's going to be a 2-part series. We don't know if he's going to take a break 1 year and come back. So how did we get suckered into believing that the Michael Jordan movie would be it's the best movie ever? That would never be another movie made better than this one. And all I've been saying, I'm glad I said it on the front end, is how can we judge this movie and it ain't over with yet? It's not even fair, because you don't know how this movie gonna end. You don't know if it's gonna be game 7 against one of the greatest. Guess what? While LeBron is picking teams and trying to put himself in position to win and thinking like a GM or owner, as you just said, guess what? So is KD. Guess what? So is Steph Curry. Guess what? So thought was Kawhi.
And LeBron started that movement, Jimmy, because Michael Jordan didn't have that kind of power. Keep going. Michael Jordan didn't have that kind of power.
Michael Jordan, let's get it real now. Michael Jordan was a counterpunch to the Boston Celtics.
No. I said that power in the front office.
Oh, yeah. Well, that part, yeah.
No, that part. I'm talking about that power, because Jerry Reinsdorf didn't do. Matter of fact, didn't do nothing Michael wanted. If Michael said he wanted to go left, Jerry Reinsdorf went right. So that's the point I was trying to make. But keep going.
Yeah. So once again, is it really fair? And in your world, if you really think it is fair, how fair do you really think it is to sit there and watch a show? You're watching a TV show, and you're saying this show is no way that this show gonna be better than the show that I love. You can't. That's what we're doing with LeBron. And I said it. Once he wins a championship, then people are not going to even think about it. People think about at the beginning of this season. At the beginning of this season, the Clippers were the favorite. The Bucks, I don't know how, but they were the favorite. Nobody gave Toronto a shot. You know why? Because everybody went all in on Kawhi, saying, and Toronto had a good showing. They went about as far as they could go. Nobody gave Miami a shot. They went about as far as they could go. We knew it. We knew it. You just didn't want the 30 to be at halftime. You really wanted to maybe be the fourth quarter. You didn't want it to be this. Now, me, yes, because the Astros was on. But I understand how the people, that's just selfish me. But understand, guys, be warned. The Lakers have already said they're going to make upgrades. They have money to get another player next year. Now, they will get somebody willing to do what Dwight Howard just did. That's going to be equally productive. To say, you know what, man? I'd take a gamble.
Jimmy, where it
comes from?
Where it comes from? The Lakers going to have so much money because all of these free agents they're going to have. Where it's come from?
Yeah, that's
salary, they haven't even determined what the salary cap was going to be next year yet. They haven't even.
Well, they know it's going to be lower. We know that they know it's going to be lower.
So how we know how much the Lakers got? I know they got a lot of free agents now.
They got a lot of free. They're going to make. They say they're going to make. I used the word upgrades. Yeah. Upgrade meaning
you said they got money. It ain't about the money. It's about having the room. You're having room to get another player.
Well, the money would be coming from you have enough money to whereas everybody won't have to take a league minimum, like you're doing right now.
Oh, yes.
Everybody ain't got to take a league minimum.
They got about what? 4 or 5? If LeBron gonna be there, right? Is LeBron gonna be there, right? Anthony Davis got to re-up, right? Jimmy, that's gonna be almost 70% of the salary cap.
Anthony Davis ain't got the re-up right now. He's a free agent after next season. They might just say, let's go and let him ride.
Okay.
They get another championship, and they can do what he wants to. He can go home. He can go home. If that's what he want to do.
Go home where? Chicago.
Back Chicago.
Ain't going.
Chicago.
Hey, LeBron. Hey,
that was
LeBron control that, baby, right now. LeBron boys control. Unless he go fire Rich Paul, he ain't going nowhere.
And as I said, and I made this, now other things come into consideration. And once again, the Poe Clippers, LeBron James,
Poe Clippers,
not necessarily LeBron. Let me go back. LeBron James indirectly. It cost. He got two coaches fired, directly and indirectly. Mike D'Antoni, Doc Rivers, indirectly with Doc Rivers. How so? Because Denver emerges from a 3-1 deficit.
That ain't had nothing to do with LeBron.
No, but put it like this. If Denver beats the Lakers, Doc
was going
to
Doc was going to still get fired.
Remember, John Lucas came on and said
the man pulled the trigger too long, quick, man. That man pulled that trigger too quick.
Okay, pull it too trick. Why he didn't pull it while the series was going on with the Lakers? He put it after the Lakers series.
That's what I'm saying. After the loss. So it really didn't have. So that means LeBron could have lost. What if LeBron? No, LeBron them had already won.
Exactly. If LeBron them lose, then the sting isn't the same sting from the Clippers.
I don't think LeBron had anything to do with that. I just disagree.
No. I'm not saying I'm saying indirectly. Meaning if y'all should get how the diamond was just right there on the plate. Ain't no way in the world. If them dudes lose to Denver, Doc Rivers, the whole conversation doesn't take place with the same degree of urgency with him and his boss. The same degree of urgency. Because it's embarrassing. It made it embarrassing to the Clipper fans.
Man,
the Clipper fans that bought that Kool-Aid.
It should have been embarrassing for them sorry-ass players he got on that team that gave up. That were up 3-1 and up 19, a 19-point lead in the closeout game and gave it back. And I'm going to say it again. Y'all can say what you want about Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers got a job then 2 days afterwards. 2 days afterwards. If Doc was that bad, he got a job 2 or 3 days afterwards. But let me tell y'all something. Lemon Pepper Lou, I'll never forgive that act. What's his name? Montrezl Harrell missed 30 days into the thing. He did not want to be in the bubble. Patrick Beverly missed 19 days. We still don't know why he was out of the bubble. He didn't want to be in the bubble. Lou Williams didn't want to. They were the first team that voted, said, okay, let's leave the bubble. Let me tell you something, man. And then you got Paul George just whining and crying with everybody on the team. They said something last night. They said, LeBron said, he repeated what Stephen Curry and them said. Strength in numbers. It's strength in numbers. It's strength in numbers. Let me tell you something. Those guys from the Clippers, those dudes was ready to go on vacation. This their vacation time of year. Those guys were ready. I'm telling you what I know. I ain't telling you what I heard. Those guys, they didn't have strength in numbers. They had maybe one guy, Kawhi Leonard, wanted to play. Rest of them guys did not want to play. And that's what happened. And guess what? A good man get fired prematurely. But thank God, Philadelphia was waiting there with a catcher's mitt and say, you damn fool. I'm going to bring him over here. And let me see can Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in this Eastern Conference benefit from these talents. So guess what? That's why I say you can look at it that way, but I'm just telling you, the man pulled that trigger too quick. So now what he gonna do? Tyrone Luke, and guess what, Jimmy? I'm gonna help y'all out. Let me help y'all out. Help y'all out right now. Every one of these coaching vacancies, Jimmy, has almost 90-some% filled. They just ain't telling nobody. Listen, The owners already know who they're going to field. But they got to bring in some candidates. Listen, the NBA is about to go what? That's the last game. So watch how these coaching news cycles, Jimmy, start to get leaked out. Because you got to remember, the NBA loves to stay relevant year-round. They already know who these coaches going to be. But they're going to leak them out. Here, that down, here, that down, here. That's how this thing goes. Just watch how it folds out. It's kind of crazy, but that's how this thing going to fold out today. But back to your point, Jimmy, if you feel that way, I understand, but I just don't think I think the man pulled that trigger too quick. What's his name? Steve Ballmer. Really do.
And speaking of NBA talk, do you guys realize that the Los Angeles Lakers on this team had 4 players from the Washington Wizards, 1/3 of their roster. 1/3 of their Washington Wizards roster from 2 years ago is on this Lakers team, got a ring, getting a ring.
Okay.
Dwight Howard, Markieff Morris, Dudley, and JaVale McGee. All of them was with the Washington Wizards. And now they're getting a ring. Dwight Howard, the move paid off for him. A guy like Chris Dudley was the great locker room guy. He was a bench guy. He was often the coach to the rest of the guys. All those guys served a piece. The only piece I just did not understand for serving, but that's probably from LeBron James. And sometimes you just might need everybody. You know, sometimes when you roll out and you go to the bar, you want that guy that's going to be toting for, going to be packing, and you just want to bring in witches in case some stuff jump off. That's the only thing I think that, because I did not understand the J.R. Smith.
I understood.
I put it like this.
I understood it.
Think about it like this. Game 6, the closeout game, whatever the hell the number may be. Your team up by 30. Close out, and coach still don't put you in.
Ain't got nothing to do with J.R. Smith, Jimmy.
No. Coach put Dudley in. You know why? It gave him I'm saying, ain't got to do with Dudley either. He put Dudley in. J.R. Smith is the only player from the roster that didn't touch the court. Normally, when they say empty the bench, that means empty the bench in that very last swan song so that somebody can just get to feel good. J.R. Smith still ain't getting.
Jimmy, that wouldn't have been good for him. That's not good just to put him in the game. I mean, I'd rather him sit.
So why
I
they
feel
put
better
Dudley
about
in?
him sitting on the bench than putting him in the game in garbage time. That's just me. I feel better letting him stay right where the hell he was than putting him in the game at garbage time. Because guess what? He gonna get a ring. Oh, guess who else? Let me tell you something, man.
I'm sorry. That's right. Thank you. McGee didn't play.
Yeah, but I'm
JaVale
gonna help
McGee.
you out too, Jimmy. I'm gonna tell you an unsung hero in this thing, and nobody has talked about his benefit throughout the whole season and over the phone and conversations and being Skype. Lionel Hollins. He's one of the assistant coaches on the team, the mastermind behind a lot of that stuff that they're doing. He elected because he's an older guy, and I guess he didn't want to be, he didn't want to go in that bubble because, back then it just was unknown. And now he's thinking that bubble was the best, one of the greatest places in the world, best places in the world to be. But we cannot forget about him, y'all. He's a African-American coach, and I know we ain't thought about him. We're looking at everybody else. Lionel Hollins was a part of this this dynasty, and I mean this championship run. And I just don't want people to forget it. And Jimmy, I saw something where waiters, people been messing with waiters, right? What his name? Waiters, right? Deion Waiters, right? Guess what? He got he talked crazy, and I think, wait a minute, I must have didn't. Golly, I didn't tape it. I thought I put it up there. He was just, I didn't know they called him cheese. But Jimmy, we're going to take a quick break, babe. I want y'all to hear this. This is what was going on the bus when they left, when they got ready to leave the stadium. Oh no, here it is. I got it. It's go. Listen to me, Mindy. To all the people. Now they're gonna be cursing a little bit in it, so I'm gonna give you a chance to walk away. But here's the Lakers in the dressing room.
Address me as motherfucking Champ Cheese. They're gonna say he ain't play. Oh, he played. Oh, he only played a little bit. He got hurt. Man, fuck all that. Who was there when I was there, bro? Starving, huh? Huh? Oh,
Hey, you know him as Cheese.
Oh, Big Cheese. No. Champ Cheese. That was Champ Cheese.
Yes, sir.
I want Champ Cheese. Yeah. Listen, don't even Philly cheese, no more bubble cheese. When you see me, just call me Double C. Champ Cheese. Y'all can talk that shit. I played, I didn't play, I played, I got hurt. When you see me though, man, just approach me as Champ. Don't even call Champ Cheese.
It was always Snoop for me. QC, where QC at? Yo, we left QC, bro.
Shit, what the fuck is they talking about, bro? Them niggas be hating.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, QC said, tell him to come back and get him, yo. Cheese, we left him. We left QC, bro.
Man, QC got the fly. QC got the fly, boy. We was looking for you. Back in the Red Bull and get the wee.
Hey, if y'all didn't hear that, I wish y'all go find that. Y'all got to hear those last two clips. Quinn Cook, Jimmy, he got left. They on the bus, he left. So he Instagramming getting in touch with J.R. Smith, said, man, y'all left me at the arena. Them dudes said, we ain't gonna get you, bitch. You gotta get a fight. We ain't coming back to get you. They done left the man. Hold up. Quinn Cook didn't play either, Jimmy. How the hell he get left in the arena?
No. Quinn Cook touched the court. Remember at the end, he brought the ball up. Remember, and the last.
I didn't see it. Okay. But Jimmy, how did he get left?
That was my point.
Jimmy, he didn't break a sweat. He couldn't have been in the shower. Maybe he could have been the champagne. But by the way, y'all, just in case y'all didn't know, and some of y'all got this information, the champagne that was sprayed for the championship is from the company and the vineyards owned by Isaiah Thomas. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. Isaiah Thomas owned that vintage of champagne that was he gave to the NBA. In other words, it wasn't no Moet and all of them. He was the official champagne distributor for the championship last night. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. I just wanted to share that with you. But Jimmy, what else you got?
Yeah, I mean, it's time. Of course, at the top of the hour, we're gonna ask from yesterday. From Thursday. You guys had so many good questions.
Oh yeah,
and I promised that we would get a guest in to handle some of the questions to deal with a lot of the recruiting, especially primarily for the non-Division I level. Because believe it or not, the vast majority of the players and prospects out there are non-Division I prospects. That's the strength in the numbers. And if you look at it, it is what it is. Only an average of about 30 from Greater Houston get to sign basketball Division I scholarships on the men's side every year on the average. And 30 is good. So right now that range is somewhere around 27 to 33, with 30 being right is the mean of that number. So we're going to have Russell Van Lanningham is going to join us at the top of the hour. Meanwhile, we also got the football stuff to go over, and we can go ahead and knock these picks out, Halder, and get them out the way from week 5. Let's see what happened. I'm feeling it's kind of close. And let me get my highlight out. And as soon as Halder come on up, we're going to get that started. But meanwhile, a couple of questions are the Rockets head coaching job. Give you guys an update on that. Yes, Tyronn Lue has interviewed. John Lucas has interviewed. And also now they're waiting till the finals to be over, because one of the last interviews from this first wave is going to be what's his name? Provision, Halder. Jeff Van Gundy. So Jeff Van Gundy will be interviewing within this week with the Rockets, probably within the next 72 hours. And he lives in Houston, so it's not like he has to go out of his way. Everybody's packing up. Everybody's leaving the bubble if they haven't made it home already. You know how it is. I'm on the first thing smoking.
They're out of there.
And nobody should be there right now. Nobody should be there right now in that bubble. They gone. And but don't get it twisted. There may be a family or two that may hang around and do the Walt Disney World together.
Might be.
Even though them kids have been going there every other day.
You always remember now they have to go back to have the exit interviews. They have to go back to have the exit interviews. Every team you get that's normal. Because this the end of the season, it's the end of the business year of basketball. So they have to be back at a certain time to have their exit interview. So talking about staying there for a week, I don't know. I mean, you know, LeBron probably got his plane out that night. He probably said, I'm going to get on my own plane. I'm out that night. I got to go whoop. Because, you know, he got to whoop Bronny's behind for smoking that weed on the what's called. So So Bronny probably sore right now. You know, so I'm just letting y'all know that. But Jimmy, let's get to these picks.
But one I didn't mention one thing.
I'm sorry.
John Lucas. It's really coming down to what I understand it. John Lucas, Van Gundy. They will first of all, believe it if you want to, but they will cost the less. They come at a discount to the dollar versus a Tyronn Lue. But
one of these young coaches. And guess what? That's what I would love to happen if John Lucas be the coach. But I'm going to play the opposite side. I think he's going to get one of these young coaches one of these coaches who haven't coached enough. Because they're going to demand the same type of salary. I'm just throwing something out there for y'all to look at it. My druthers would be John Lucas. But just the stuff I hear, it's Timothy Fertitta, and right now, and we would. And I'm thinking he's gonna take a shot.
But John Lucas has one thing about it, and it's like I use this like in the analogy of getting the bag, securing the bag. That's what they say now. That's the new thing. Secure the bag. Well, in securing the bag, if I got 2 different bags for you to put the money in, then guess what? All that bag money, if all of it might not fit in one bag, but if I got a different way you can put the money in and you can guarantee, then guess what? That can supplement. And it's like LeBron has a different bag. In LA, he has the Hollywood bag now. It ain't a big grocery bag, but it's coming. That bag he has a Showtime bag. My point is, if the Houston Rockets gave John Lucas and the right step, which is one of his companies, somehow he had to recluse himself. I don't know the rules on being on the staff and owning that, but recluse himself, and somehow he's gonna get points and get him exclusive rights to any other players that have to go and take substance abuse or whatever counseling, and they get that exclusive deal. That helps. You'd be surprised how many players got to go through
Jimmy.
Those things on a yearly basis.
The little intel I got, and because you got to realize John Lucas is still under contract, so he's already on staff.
He's on for 2 years. He has 2 years remaining.
They bring a young coach in. I'm just telling you. It's just a scenario. You bring up one of those newer coaches in and let them come in, and John is already on staff and already. That was my druthers that John get the job. But me listening to people in this industry, it might not go that way. It might not go that way. And they mentioned John's name.
Understand one thing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of, from what I understand also, from a different side of the fence from the Houston Rockets, they say John Lucas, they were expecting him to come into the interview talking a lot of that good sound bite type talk, make you laugh, talk this, talk that. They say John Lucas hit a home run with his interview. They said people that really didn't care too much about him. And in the interview, most of the administration from the Houston Rockets are in the interview process. he hit what they call a home run. And understand something. For me or for guys, some of us that see him talk all the time, I mean, what do they call hitting a home run mean?
Let me
means
help you out,
obviously.
Jim. Let me help you out. A couple of weeks on this show, I came on here and I said, these young black coaches and these black coaches know analytics too. Don't think John is not, John has been around that program this long and don't know what analytics is. Sam had a staff of 5. Matter of fact, the Clippers had more analytics people on their team than anybody. And Sam has learned under these people for the last 5 years. So these coaches, these black coaches are equipped now. They know how. John gonna hit the. You know why John gonna hit it? Cause John is speaking Tillman's language. Tillman is money, guys. If you get that kind of money, you gravitate toward who you like. If a guy coming there giving all kind of crazy sayings and having kind of slangs and from the hood but he got some hustle in him, Jimmy, you gonna gravitate toward that dude because what? He's speaking your language. He gonna come in there and speak your language. John Lucas, y'all, is a chameleon. That man been in this thing. Hey, let me tell you something. He wasn't my hero for nothing. That man was the number 1 tennis player in the world, the number 1 basketball player coming out of college. Nobody else has done that. Father and mother are educators. Just because he got caught up with substance abuse, that don't diminish the brilliant mind that he had. So him not gonna see when John is in the gym, he gonna talk to y'all like he in the gym. The hell he gonna come to y'all talking to y'all speaking Latin, and y'all in the gym is speaking Ebonics. John Lucas I'm telling y'all, is a viable candidate. But don't be surprised, because John Lucas, they stated to me, John Lucas is already on the contract, Rob. We're gonna get one of these guys and come in and learn. So I mean but guess what? Might not happen. I don't know. Matter of fact, I don't know what's going on with Sam right now. Sam's dad passed away, so he's in Baltimore dealing with his dad, and his dad just passed away last Thursday. Right when we got off the show, he called me. As soon as we got off the show. So he's in Baltimore dealing with his dad's funeral right now because somebody just asked, did Sam get an interview? Let me tell you something. That's one of the biggest miscarriages in justice in this thing. If Sam Cassell don't at least, but now he sat down before with Tillman Fertitta. That was 4 years ago. Sam is even the smart. What you just said, Jimmy, Sam will hit the ball out of the park now after 4 years because he's been studying analytics for 4 years. So that's all, y'all. What I'm trying to say, I'm just saying our black coaches, that's no excuse no more, y'all. It's no excuse no more. These guys know what the hell they talking about. What else you got, Jim?
Yeah, and what you mentioned about being on the contract, about John being on the contract. Hell, Ty Lue was on the contract with the Clippers. It's not affecting his ability to be a finalist for that gig. So he's on the contract as well.
Talking about with the Rockets. I'm just telling you what they say.
I know. I understand this. Understand this.
So they already got John. In other words, they already got John there.
They already got Ty Lue.
Yeah.
But that's not affecting. That's not hindering his ability to become a finalist for the Clippers job. That's what I'm saying. He's under contract.
Different situation.
No matter who comes in.
Different situation. We talking about we talking about a 30-something-year-old man, a 40-year-old man versus a almost 70-year-old man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but they're not different fruit.
But it's
not different fruit.
Something. When you're hiring in HR, age means something.
No, not understand. When the longevity of the job, the average span of the job is about 4 to 5 years. That's not, remember now, speaking, you just let go of one of the oldest active coaches in the NBA was Mike D'Antoni. He was 77 years old. We didn't even know it. I don't know what the hell he taking, but I need to get some of that. I ain't gonna lie. But let's get to these football picks, man. Mike D'Antoni did for real. For real. He looked good.
He's a workout warrior, Jimmy. Workout warrior. Every day in camp, every day at the bubble, you see Him up and
He look
down.
good,
Workout
man.
warrior.
Good and talk good for that age. Good. But now let's go. Let's get
Come
on this
let's
right here.
Come on, get
From
this
this
whip.
past weekend. Laura Dotson, where you at? Let's see. And don't sneak it out too quick. I don't know what the hell happened. Let's get halfway through first. Tampa Bay
Hold
at
up, Jimmy.
Chicago.
You see what Trey Phillips did to us weekend. He gonna tweet it out. Who had so and so? I said I never look. Y'all, I put this in my office. I don't go into the office no more until I come in for this show. So guess what? I'm ready now. Tampa Bay, come on, Jimmy. I had Tampa Bay over to Chicago. What happened?
That's why I'm looking for the.
Rod Wells, do me a favor and follow this closely, because we got somebody. I'll try to cheat.
I'm looking for this thing. He ain't gonna cheat.
No, Rod Wells ain't gonna let you cheat, man. Boy. Hey, Kim Jackson and Rod Wells, them my people. They ain't gonna let me get got.
I'm trying to see what my. Oh, here you go.
All right.
There you go. Now, I know I had the paper over here somewhere. Put it on there. There we go. Now let's go with this. That way I can go down the line in good order. Chicago and Tampa Bay. Hell, I had Chicago and 3.5. And Chicago won that outright. So that was my first time.
Chicago, that's right. They beat
Chicago
me. You're right.
That was my first time ever winning a Thursday night game this year. I lost 4.
Jimmy, you really be keeping up. Oh, Lori, you emailed it, but we just didn't get it. I know you emailed it. We just didn't get it.
We didn't get it.
Yeah.
Next up was Houston and Jacksonville. I had Houston, gave you 6. Houston won 30-14. So I got that one.
Damn.
Next up, Cincinnati and Baltimore. I had Baltimore and 13.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I had Cincinnati and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then Baltimore won 27-3.
I won that.
You got that.
Okay.
Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. I had Pittsburgh and I gave you 7.
Okay.
Pittsburgh won 38-29. So I got that one.
Okay.
Carolina and Atlanta. I told y'all them Dirty Birds, man. I ain't won with them Dirty Birds since 2 years ago.
Is it safe to say I won that one? Is it safe to say I won that one?
But don't even worry about the scoreboard. The Dirty Bird, that's a free space and bingo.
Okay.
Oh, how about this one? Kansas City and Vegas.
Come on, Cletus.
I gave up 13 points and took Kansas City. Vegas won 40-32 outright. How about this one? The LA Rams and Washington. I had Washington and 7. Right?
Oh, Jim.
And of course, the Rams beat the snot out of Washington. Washington is getting just what they deserve, though. Nobody, don't you dare. If you're from DC, don't feel sorry for them. How about next up, Buffalo and Tennessee? I don't think that we didn't do anything with that game. That was a postponed game. But they will play tonight. So if we need be, we'll come back.
Okay. All right.
Because I took Tennessee, but the game we knew it was going to probably be delayed.
Okay.
Deferred.
Yeah.
Arizona and the Jets. How about the Jets? They are awful.
I won that one too, Jim.
I took the Jets and the 7 points. Got beat on that one. Next up, Miami and Frisco. Miami beat Frisco 43-17. I had Miami and 8 points. And remember, I said in that one, I say, man, this dude playing for his job. Oh, Chris Kringle, the quarterback, Fitzgerald.
Nigga, I'm worried about Brian Flores. I'm not worried about Fitzpatrick.
Well, I'm just saying he don't want that young boy to touch the field. He playing for his career. He know if he ever get demoted this time, he's going from 1st to 3rd string. Ain't no backup. He's gonna get demoted. He's gonna get the king crab leg effect. Now, next up, the Giants and Dallas. I had the Giants in 9.5. Damn. Dallas won by 3. I got that one.
Man, I can't believe
New England and Denver was another game that was not played because of the pandemic. So that's a no call on that one. Next up, the Colts and Cleveland.
I had Cleveland.
Right? I had you had Cleveland.
Yeah.
I had 1.5. You got that one. Seattle and Minnesota, right? Is the
Ooh,
late game.
I had 7 points,
And
Jimmy. You gave me 7.
and I took Seattle. Seattle won the game, but Minnesota
Yeah.
covered the line.
Okay.
So as it stands, there's 2 games that's going to be played this evening. Well, yeah, 2 games this evening and 1 on Tuesday.
I got you
You got
7 to
New
5
England.
right now, Jimmy.
And so Monday Night Football will be needed tonight.
It's
Once
2
again,
Monday
Denver
night
and New
football
England.
games, Jimmy.
Yeah, Monday,
It's 2
Denver
of
and
them.
New England,
Okay.
and the Chargers and New Orleans.
No. What about
Denver
the Green Bay and Detroit?
No, they off this week.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They off this week.
All right. My bad.
So,
All right.
so two games.
Is it my turn to choose?
Denver and New England, and the Chargers and the Saints. Now, the Denver and New England game, once again,
Did the line move?
we had no, it didn't move at all. It's still I had New England still the same, no line.
Oh, okay.
They don't even set nothing on that one.
Okay.
I had New England, so you get to pick the second one. The Chargers in New Orleans, and New Orleans is giving up 7.
New Orleans giving up 7. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
So you're giving me New Orleans,
And I got 7.
and you got 7.
Yeah. I'm going with the Chargers. I'm gonna go with them Chargers. All right, now we got that out of the way.
Let me change this line.
You
Let me
got
change this
whooped
line
again.
over here.
You done got
No,
whooped
not yet.
again.
Not yet, boss. Not yet.
Yeah, it is, boss.
Not yet.
Boss, you got to win both
Not
of them
yet.
just to tie, boss.
I gotta win both of them.
So what we got to guess Jimmy. Jimmy, guess what I did this weekend? Jimmy, because I know we got a guest coming up talking about high school basketball. Guess what I did this weekend, y'all? I put on my mask and my hazmat suit, and Jimmy, I went to something called great event called a unicorn warm-up. I went and watched some girls play basketball. Y'all always talk about I don't talk. I went to the unicorn. Jimmy, I saw a couple of girls. I liked them. I tell you what, I'm gonna go see Bel Air play, and Rory and Kendall was there, but they played right before I came, so I missed them. Great event, Gary Carter and that Jeffrey Day. Let me tell y'all something, man. The hospitality that y'all was showing them people, and I was watching y'all. I know they probably don't even know I'm saying this. I just sit back and just watch them, Jimmy, how they were catering to the people. They had their music. They had their, it was seamless, and gave them some ideas. It was Shadow Creek was there. Let me tell you something, man. Them young guys, I don't know how many events they've given in their life, but they've been watching how events should be done. Everybody was distanced. Everything was great. The referees were good. I was just proud. That's my first summer event, and I got a chance to, I wanted to come and support those young brothers because they're doing such. Bobby Benjamin was in the building, and just a shout out to those girls. That I can't tell number 4 for Bel Air. I'm going to come watch her play. I got to call her name out because I just like her little game. Her name is Raven Ellis. Raven Ellis. So if anybody know Raven Ellis, you tell her that I saw her and I enjoyed the way she played, and I liked her poise. And it was a lot of girls there. It was just a great event. Thank you, Jeffrey Day. And the next time y'all do something like that, let us know ahead of time so we can talk about it.
And I mentioned that last week. I said, what the hell they doing an event and don't mention it on the Chop Shop? That don't even make sense.
Yeah. But Jimmy, I know what happened, Jimmy. They were finalizing stuff up to the last moment. Those guys had a hard time.
No. But they knew the event was taking place. They were finalizing things of details about maybe the personnel or the people that were the participants.
Yeah.
But they knew that the event was going to take place.
Yes.
And the thing about it, I had no earthly idea that it was taking place until Jeffrey Day was supposed to be going on assignment to San Antonio for RCS Sports, and he couldn't go. So I had to get my ass up and go down to San Antonio and cover his commitment to be there covering his event. So that was how I didn't find out until at the buzzer. And understand something. I know a lot of people have, because you mentioned how the other day, it's because it comes in 4-year intervals. So in 4-year intervals, meaning that, and a lot of people don't realize, let me say it right now, RCS Sports is available for you to advertise or market any event that you may have, as long as the event is not on head-to-head with my event. That is all. Now, how do you remember that? I gave that house rule years ago.
Yeah.
For free.
Yeah.
As long as you're not charging. If you are charging for your event, then I have to charge for advertising.
Oh yeah,
space.
of course. Yeah, but
you
these
see how
guys,
this goes. So
Jimmy.
I'm just saying, some people understand that way. They get my word. Understand. If you're not charging,
let me let y'all see this. They gave me this when I walk in the door. These guys. So this my dude. Let me tell you something, man. And I don't do this that much. I mean, y'all know I haven't been to an event, and but some about the drive and I just watched. I'm watching these guys move. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta realize. I tell the story all the time, Jimmy. Sometimes it's all right for people to talk behind your back. Sometimes people talking behind your back and good. I always talk about Extra Eyes Media. And y'all don't know I'm talking about. I'll never forget the story of Steven Spielberg and Quincy Jones, Jimmy, when they was trying to find somebody to play Celie in The Color Purple. Oprah Winfrey worked at the TV studio in Chicago. They were talking about her behind her back. She didn't even know it. You know how we don't talk about it behind my, and sometimes God talk behind your back. So guys, y'all just, what I would like to say, y'all, people are talking about y'all behind your back. Just keeping on giving good products like that. And guess what? Guess what? We need fresh and we need new ideas in any industry we have. You know, so I'm so proud of y'all. I want y'all to understand, and this is what I want y'all to understand. What y'all did yesterday, you can do more over the weekend, because your potential, you got potential, and potential means untapped power. You got more. It's more in you. You can't rest on your last resort, because guess what? It's something else in you. If you didn't die over the weekend, it's something else in you. So strive to be better and do. Y'all got some more stuff that y'all need to do, all of y'all. So guess what? The potential is there. I'm telling you. So don't rest on your last success. Let's move and fulfill your potential. So I just wanted to get that out to you young guys.
How many girls were there?
I don't know, Jim. It was just every time I was in the gym for one game, Bel Air versus North Shore. But I was coming in as all the other ones was, the parking lot was full at Slater's. The parking lot, it was at Slater's, was full. So as I was coming in, I just had a chance to get in and get me a little spot. I was in my little car. I got me a little spot right up there by the front door. So, but he had 9 teams.
He says 9 teams.
Yeah.
He says nine teams.
Yeah.
So that's a good stuff. So it was it was the high school team. So this was a fall ball high school event.
Yes.
Not
fall ball.
Not a camp with individual girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's a good thing. That's, once again, this is where to start it. And you keep pushing and keep powering through with the stuff. But the main one thing that you have to do is you have to be consistent.
There you go.
Remember that with this stuff and doing events.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. That means if you're starting with a DJ, you can't stop doing a DJ.
Right.
If you're starting with a hospitality room, you can't stop doing hospitality room. Right. You can't. I mean, you can, but that's going to be as far as the expectations of your event. That's like if we playing with no nets on with nets on the rim in the park, you can't come back next day and take the nets down. play with no nets. Ain't the same game. So that's the thing. Keep those efforts and keep it going. I'm quite sure that understand the market for girls is there. Now the thing is, when they're saying being consistent, that means a lot of people come down to Friday night, go see the girls play or go see the boys play. You got to keep going to see them girls play. Them parents gonna notice they see you up in there, and guess what? You straight win. Straight. Once they see you and see you again, didn't see you again, oh, you win. You win. And so speaking of where I was past weekend, I was up in San Antonio at a camp.
Our guest is on, Jimmy. Guest is here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We up against we coming at 15 minutes past the hour.
Okay.
So we got 3 minutes. We got 1 minute, then the break, and then coming with 15 minutes past the hour with our guest Russell Van Lannon now. Mm-hmm. And so I was in San Antonio, and this camp called a Sweat Equity Camp.
Okay.
Middle school. So going there, I don't know what to expect. I'm like, at first I was like, man, I said we're gonna get better, and part of getting better is going and making a conscious effort to kind of put eyes on kids just a little bit earlier than before. And normally I wouldn't watch 8th graders, which around that time I would watch them normally during the John Lucas International Middle School Combine. That's when I would first lay eyes on a lot of the 8th graders. Well, there was no combine this year, so I hadn't got a chance to get a dose of any. Well, in this event they called, and they were courteous enough to request the presence of RCS Sports at this event. I say, sure. And it's just that easy. And that's the thing. And now, don't get it twisted. Bobby Benjamin did reach out and invite me to the event. And I told Bobby at the time, I said, I didn't know if I'm going to be out of town or not, because I didn't know if Doug Jones was going to be able to go and cover it, if Jeffrey Davis was going to be able to cover it. And neither one of them, then guess what? That's how it goes. If nobody ain't going to wash dishes, then guess who got to wash them? I got to wash them. So I went down there and covered that event. And you know what? I love it when I commit myself to an event and it's well ran. Well ran meaning that there's enough staff that are engaged. And then I realized I put one of the faces with the name. Now you can know a guy and you see him in the gym, but you don't really know his name. That happens, guy. So this guy, Pittman Kennedy, he works the John Lucas camps. Then another little guy, they call him nickname Mo from out of DC. How you might know him from around the Fundy Day. Little Slim Mo works the John Lucas camps.
Yeah. So
Mo working the camp. I said, what you doing here? He's asking what you doing here. And so then I see Kennedy Pittman. I'm like, so you the other guy that's running this? Oh man, I'm good. And the camp was well ran. They had enough kids that was for 2 courts, 4 teams. Easy to cover a camp like that. I say easy to cover, meaning that if it's more than 2 courts, it's virtually impossible if it's a one-day camp for one person to accurately get an assessment of all the kids if it's more than 2 courts being played in a camp. I'm telling you that. Giving you rule of thumb. Why? Because once it becomes game time, the games are simultaneously. So unless that guy can that means if it's 4 teams, the 2 teams somebody's going to switch courts. So you're going to watch the same team play twice back to back, no matter which court you sit by. That means unless you sit in between both courts and you're going to play a little first half, second half, and you can do it like that. But anyway, that was great opportunity. I posted the recap for the first time ever. Once again, as the rules change, as the game changed, the rules change. And that is, I posted the top 12 performers from the event. I identified 10 myself. I was working that hard. They played 3 games, and I found the top 10. Then I told the event operators, each one of them, y'all give me 1 kid that I don't have listed, that you guys made us saw as one of the better kids. And that's how we rounded out the top 12. I have photos and the recap for free on the homepage of rcsports.com. And we're gonna do, once again, more content. Remember, I told you guys, more free content. And we'll be on that site. And VIP news. I got a whole bunch of grassroots news in there. You might want to go check that out today. Got a coach, I got a head coach that's gone. A job just came open. You might want to check the VIP news out today and find out who it is, and also who's probably going to be a front runner for the gig. You guys check all that out. VIP News, RCSports.com. Anyway, we got a break. It's time for Russell Van Lannon now. And get your questions ready, because now we're going to talk some basketball recruiting. And some of these things apply to both boys and girls. Some of these elements, just because a guy's telling it, and some of this stuff applies both ways.
Shout out to the dopest DB of his era. My brother, Charles Woodson, he had the nerve to send me some intercept wine. Check this out, y'all. It's real deal, Holyfield right here. You know what I'm going to be doing when I get off work tonight. Appreciate you, family.
During the video that came out about George Floyd, there were so many black folks that felt like the system is stacked against them. They saw the George Floyd video, the power that athletes had. They saw all these forces being mustered towards change. We talk about the developments we had, and then the Jacob Blake video came out. And I remember hearing so many people say, it just feels like nothing's changing, even though it seems like things were being done on local levels. So when you saw those two videos amidst all the activism and all the protests, how did that make you feel about the prospect of real, lasting national and local change?
Yeah, it's so crazy you say that, Ryan, because I remember the George Floyd video, and as a parent, I remember talking to my kids about it, and it broke me down because I had to talk to my daughter, you know, what it's like being a black man, right? Obviously, Breonna Taylor, speaking to my daughter, what it's like being a black woman. And then, obviously, we're playing, and we think, or we're hoping, right? That's the thing. We're hoping that we're trying to create change. And then the Jacob Blake situation happens. And guys are just like, all right, man, are we doing enough? What are we doing? And thankful for Michelle and all of us. And that's why we needed to talk about it and understand that what we were doing and what we are doing is a lot, right? But we needed to be educated even more. And that's why having that reset where we stopped and we got a chance to talk, because as Judy said, there's a lot of people who've been on the ground doing this work day in and day out. And what we needed to do was engage with them, right? So we found out a little bit more information about the George Floyd Police Act, right? And then we started trying to figure out, okay, this is what needs to happen on a local level. Because everyone, like when we talk about voting, everyone just looks at the presidential election. But a lot of times people look right past the 2-year elections, where these elections really influence what the schooling systems are going to be like, what the streets are going to be like, all these different people who are appointed and can be like voted on, right? So that is what's important. And that's why the education piece was big for us as players. It's more than just playing the games. We really got a chance to talk and learn a lot of this stuff.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas, where we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. We got a new additional Facebook channel. We're going to wean off the old unofficial Chop Shop Facebook channel to the Chop Shop Htx page. So now we're going to be official. We used to be unofficial. I guess that's what Facebook said. And so now we're back. So if you share that link, because Slim, thank you, Slim. I'm glad you told me you had a hard time finding us this morning, because we sent out some stuff and I guess y'all hadn't seen it yet. So Jimmy, that's just telling us we need to send out some more stuff, and y'all help us share, and so we can get those other people, because we don't have access to that other site right now. We're working on it, but we don't have it. But Jimmy, you got a special guest today, and I can't wait for you to cover some of this basketball topics with him. He's wearing to go. He's in the green room. He's sit back ready and wearing to go. So Jimmy, I'll let you introduce your guest, and then I'll bring him on.
Oh, I mean, what we have right now, as promised, Russell Van Landingham, and he's a former college coach now who operates a lot of showcases for unsigned seniors around the Texas area. And one of the things, and that was his passion, because which enabled him to successfully insert him straight into a platform that he was fresh out of, meaning that he was one year, he's the guy that has to go to those showcases and identify and find talent. Now the next year, when he's out of college coaching or during the intermission phase, he finds a way, you know what, with his resources and his relationships among the college coaching ranks, what better person to go in and do it correctly, or do it even better, or by the means that a college coach would want, than a former college coach who has the passion to do so. He's done it. It was and stayed consistent with his efforts over the past year or so of doing it. And now here we go with him right now, and that is Russell Van Landingham, right live from the Chop Shop. What's going on, Coach?
Help me out, Robert. Am I looking good, man? Am I in the middle of the screen?
Man.
He was working with me for 20 minutes.
All right, man. Yeah, you're looking good, Coach.
How are you, Mr. Hicks?
Hey, so Coach, we get right into it now. Tell them a little bit about your resume as a college coach. A lot of people may not know. You also had coached in the Division I platform as well as non-Division I. Tell us about it.
I'll be quick on that because nobody cares anymore about what I used to do. What they care about is what I'm doing now. Same thing with what I care about now. But I do have about 21 years of college basketball coach, and I got a weird resume. Most people stay in one lane. If you're D2, you stay D2. JUCO. I was D3, D2, D1, and NAIA. So I had a background a little bit in every level over 2 decades. So I got to work with some really good coaches, man. Learned a lot about the recruiting game as a coordinator. So now it's just flipped. What they care about now is what am I doing now to Uncommon, and how do I use that to help these kids at a higher level?
And so when did you start doing it, and what got you into providing these showcases?
Well, we're on a Chop Shop, so what provided me was my son was coming up, and I mean, I'm going to say it like it is, because Uncommon has been a passion of mine since I left coaching. I go to a lot of events. There's a lot of good people, by the way. Let me make sure, trying to help these kids. But for me, as a guy who had to offer Mr. Hicks's son money, and seeing that kid at my school with $38,000 and this dream getting a bus a month in the school because he has a little adversity, I said there's got to be a better platform to not expose these kids. The talented kids, coaches going to the events already knowing. I wanted to create a model based on my background for the hungry kid, a little bit under the radar, that by the end of the spring, he has the tools and resources and knowledge to become a recruitable kid and get to his dream. So for me, 5 years ago, I came back to a lot of events when I was coaching college. I'd come rush to see my son play, and I saw 25 different, and again, I hope this doesn't come across wrong, but this is where it all began. 25 different talks about habits. Now, I was at Texas State or West Texas A&M. I know what my 8 hours look like when I'm putting money into you. And then I'd go to their one practice week. I thought it was part of a deal. My son didn't have a chance. I said, son, I'm going to start something uncommon. I know y'all want to play college basketball. I know why there's services that are millionaires. I said, I'll show you what it's like to work for 6 months if I got money in you. That's where it all began. I said, if you can do that, the rest will be fine. I don't care if you play basketball. So that premise started by a lot of talking about habits, and then these kids go play a lot, but very few really understand the process. So I wanted something that rewarded both. Something uncommon.
Something uncommon. And Uncommon Hoops is the name of your platform. Right?
It used to be Uncommon Hoops. I did a couple of years of Select, and that's when I kind of, that's where I kind of started with that Select, but got out of that. I wasn't very good at Select. There was a lot better guys at Select. Again, it was hard for me to reprogram Mr. Hicks. 20-something years of preparation. I ain't a good enough coach not to have, film and time with the kids. I just wasn't a good enough coach. I said I kind of had a platform that was growth-based, but my love really back then was how do I help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that I used to discover when I called you as a recruit coordinator. He said, there's a kid here or there, come look at him. You were credible. So I'm driving to Houston because it's a numbers game. At Olu, my first year when I was at a startup program, I got 2 4-year All-Americans and nobody was recruiting. So from that standpoint, I wanted to start something for that kid that is a little bit under the radar, but a plenty good enough talent in bigger markets like Houston or Dallas, and give them a fair shot and make it affordable and help them with all the resources that they think is important as far as the profile and highlights, and kind of guide them to the right fit. You hear me talking about when you see exposure, which is uncommon exposure, fit, because that increases your odds, the fit. And so I created something very unique to the large showcases where I can get a better evaluation of these young men so I can help them find a fit.
So, Coach, now doing these events, explain to us what all goes into it. Because from one side of the fence, to many parents, it seems like, okay, somebody just rolling out the ball and you're doing an event, get some jerseys, some feedback somewhere. Does anybody have a device?
Jimmy, Jimmy, I think.
Can you hear me?
Jimmy, what's going on, Jimmy? He just got a lot of feedback, and you're gonna have to take your volume all the way down. Hey, Coach, do you have an earphone? Do you have headphones anywhere? Coach.
Yeah. No, I don't have an earpiece.
Okay.
So I can turn my volume down.
Because that's the problem. That's the problem. But we're gonna have to, because what it is, you're good, but you're echoing. Jimmy's echoing, and Jimmy, that's why I just turned mine all the way down, Jimmy. I just turned mine.
Okay. Yeah, I just turned mine down as well, so we can proceed.
Okay.
I heard the question. I heard the question. Now, Mr. Hicks, roll out the ball. So for me, with my experience, you hear me, Mr. Hatter?
Yeah, I can hear you. Keep talking.
I can hear you. Good. But for me, as a coordinator, Division I, Division II, I'm talking about with real money involved. I'd go to California, Chicago, Houston, and there's a showcase of 300 kids, and they play 5-on-5 basketball. And I'm in charge of taking one name back to my boss, and my job's on the line. And outside of already knowing talent, you got to have talent. But outside on the 5 kids I went to watch, because I got to take the name back to my boss and keep my job, when it comes to this is the kid we want. So with my events, we cap them at 48, and I kind of stress them during the first 3 hours, but it ain't really stressful. It's kids that really want to make a leap. I give them an avenue in the first 3 hours without it going in too much detail, Mr. Hicks. I can just tell you, I created an avenue. If you're win in my events, you're in. There is no politics. There is no noise. If you're the best defender, you're in my top game. If you're the most skilled, you're in my top game. If you're the best teammate, you're in my top game. If you win, you're in. I don't. It took 3 years to create a formula instead of talking to people to make it a fair, unbiased, competitive camp before we play our 5-on-5 games where talent will shine. So I've tried to balance both for the college coaches, but also for that kid who's looking at that 5th-ranked player and saying, I got his ass. No, I can beat him. Well, I want him to have a chance. Why not? Then I took the question mark out for those college coaches that come or watch this live stream, how to save money or spend money. That's why I call it interest to offers, because I can see you in 12 different showcases, Jimmy, along with 12 other names on my board, and I still got to figure out out of 5-on-5 games, who do I want to choose? So I've worked really hard to kind of provide a platform, and that's why I only do 48 kids or 40 kids. I have money-making camps at West Texas. Come on, invite every all-district kid, make us some money. And I had an elite camp where I invited 24 kids and had 1 scholarship left. Big difference. That's, again, ingrained in me. It's more of an elite camp where I can get an evaluation and help kids over 90 days.
That's interesting.
I mean, this is really important, man. Go on, Adam. This is I'm learning some stuff.
No, but I got the I got his website scrolling across the screen. But Coach, explain. So we down here we have a lot of kids that thinks it's D1 or bust. D1 or bust.
Well, that's a good question, because Mr. Hicks said give 5 questions, you get the most. I'm going to send you my write-up after this and my report. I write my reports like the same reports I wrote after I visited 3 cities. I'm in the hotel and everything's fresh on my brain. I got my notes. I say, what's those guys looking for? So I write in a report that really is more geared to what a recruiting coordinator wants to read. So I give the kid a gap. And here's what I get most often. And here's where I'm still trying to make Uncommon a little bit more common, because I still got some noise in the sense that the parent immediately says, you don't think my son's Division I? We're going to go to this other camp. You don't think he's D1? I'm not going to. I believe in what I believe. I believe in making a difference. And I say, sir, the market doesn't lie. My job is to get your son's education paid for, find somebody that needs an up-tempo wing. If you don't want to take the offer, that's your call. But right now, I know for a fact, I've researched your son. He's got some NAI interest, and he's got a lot of Division IIIs. So coaches are dumb. People used to say that. I was dumb. I mean, I loved the kid at Houston when I was at Texas State. But if he doesn't have a D2 full offer, my brain's like a human being. I'm still, again, I just flipped that. So if I get you a really good D2 offer at a ranked D2, now Sam Houston State may be like, come back down, let me look at that kid. So I know what I'm doing on the back end. I got time to explain it, because that is a big question that hurts kids. And they're just parents. So I don't answer that question anymore. I just say, look, my job is to get your son in the right fit, right hands after camp. If that leaves a D1 offer, great. Nobody talks about the kid has still 3 or 4 months to fix what I give him in the write-up, so you don't get exposed in the spring.
Hey, Coach, I like Jimmy. I like to share something right now, Jimmy. Right now, Jimmy, you and I, we are echoing every time we talk. Coach is not. That, I don't want this video going out like that, Coach. So what I'm going to do, Coach, I'm going to propose another time, Jimmy, I would like you to bring Coach on, because I don't want, if me and you going back and forth like this, we wasn't echoing before. I'd rather Coach, we just going to remove him from the show today, Jimmy. And we're just going to have to bring him on another time, because we can't go on you and I echoing like that. So Coach, nothing against you. It's just your system is just not compatible, and I can't fix it right now while the show going on. So we'll bring you on at another time. Okay?
Don't try to go with a different device.
No.
I can just ask, we try a different device, then it might work for him. Jim, it might work if we.
Let me help you out. I tried, Coach, from several devices today. I just didn't tell you about it. And all of them wasn't that good. So now we're not echoing. So it was him. I'm just letting you know. What we'll do is just schedule another time that he can come up. Let's just finish the show and schedule another time where he can come on. Because people, I've been getting, they echo. Every time me and you say something, it's an echo. So, and I don't want that to go continuous throughout the show. So we can just move on. Jimmy, you can just add on to some stuff that he was talking about, and we can talk about some high school basketball. So I guess he's going to try to come on another Vice. We're trying one more time.
Yeah, if he's listening, then you, like I say, you always want to try from a different device. He said he had a different device, and that would be the thing. Because a lot of people, this is some good, very, very good info that we were just getting warm. The pot was just getting warm.
Let's see right quick. Coach, are you there? Coach.
I'm here. Yes, sir.
All right.
I'm here.
That's better.
That's a lot better.
That's better. That's better.
Yes.
It was better. Hey, Mr. How to Win Very Smart was better earlier. My laptop was better earlier, remember?
Yes. Okay.
So now we're cooking right now. And of course, we're back with Coach Russell Van Landingham, and our former college coach. He operates a lot of showcases that travels around the state to various cities between the ASAC area, that's Austin, San Antonio, Killeen, that DFW, Dallas, Fort Worth, and the greater Houston area, seeking out and providing platforms for 12th graders primarily, and rising seniors and unsigned seniors to help enhance their recruitment. And see, a lot of people do these type of things. So one of the objectives of the day, as you guys that are watching, is to come away with some nuggets or with intel on how to actively select these, questions that you can ask the operator of these. Also, what happens after after the event is over? Do they just want to get your registration fee? You play a couple of games, they'll give you a couple of motivational speeches, everybody's gone, then what? And this is some important stuff. And so before we get into that, Howard, you had something real quick.
Yeah, I just want to share with the coach. Coach, I got a couple of texts. They asked me, and Coach, you might need to clarify this with Coach. Yeah. Okay, right there. Yeah, Coach, Coach, quit moving around, Coach. It's right there. That's right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Hold up. You good.
Done.
Just come over to your right just a little. You're right. There you go, right there. Now back over to the left a little bit. Come on, Coach. Right there.
I'm going to start dancing for you.
Now, here's the question. He said, did this man actually say, and Coach, you got to clear this up, Coach. These viewers, they hear everything, Coach. They say, did he actually say, I do a money-making camp in West Texas? What you mean by that?
He did.
Huh?
Me?
No.
Say
it again.
Say it again?
No, when you were talking about the West Texas camp a while ago, what one of the statements that
I'm talking about when I was a coach at West Texas A&M again.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So that's what they want to make sure. That was a lot of colleges that does the camp. Yeah, a lot of the colleges would do those type of camps and bring everybody on in
to make money.
And those would be the money-making camps for some of those staff.
Okay.
He mentioned a while ago he looking for those elite.
That's West Texas A&M.
Okay. They didn't get that part, Coach. Coach, you remember we was having an echo, and that's why I wanted you to pull it up. It's good.
Mr. Hatter, my camp costs $90. I give the kids profiles.
Okay.
I have 48 kids.
That's a good thing.
I'm going to tell you about my camp.
Okay.
I rent two good courts.
Okay.
I hire UIL officials. Nothing gets select. So I get college coaches so I can pay real coaches because I want real evaluations on staff. And what does that do for me? It allows me 90 days later, like Mr. Hicks said, when one of my relationships of 25 years, instead of pushing profiles randomly,
okay.
Chris Harris last year, I can attest to it. I said, Chris, Thank God he came to a fall camp. I said, quit worrying about the fourth-ranked player in the goddamn country. Will never be him, but you can play college basketball if you become a point guard. So thank God his mother was somebody who used to come to all my games when I was coaching college because her brother played 4 years for me. So she knew I had it. So what did Chris get? But Chris got the right fit when he changed. Man, I don't take credit.
Gotcha.
Chris took some back-end consultation. Mm-hmm. I had his profile. And what a D2 called for a backup point guard that could be a hell of a sophomore because they're gonna recruit a D1 transfer. And I knew the guy who was calling, the 30-year friend. I said, go watch Hightower. What did Chris do different in the spring that he learned in the fall? He started leading his team. He became a point guard, which gave him the best odds to get his education paid for and get out of Houston.
Wow.
He wasn't a guy on every radar. Listen. So I've been fighting against the grain for 3 years, maybe 40 kids signing up because they're scared of being exposed. And those are the kids in the spring paying for 12 showcases because I'm the guy, again, that's trying to answer a question mark. Expose yourself in the fall like Chris did, then fix it and get rewarded. I'm here to help. I charge $90. And in the spring, it's 110. And I'm passionate, and I called Mr. Hicks, and I'm grateful and blessed. I have reached out to everybody. I have great testimonies regarding my camp. I don't have the bells and whistles placed because of the pandemic. Man, I put all my money in last year and went full-time. Mr. Hicks said 2 years. Really, I was doing it on the side. I had a formula. I had a model. I went full-time in September. I had 8 sites booked from Atlanta, where I have ex-players and whatever. And after one camp, it got shut down. And ironically, if you're looking at my website, March 7th was my only camp that Mr. Hicks strode by and attended.
So right now we're getting some audio difficulties from Coach. That the internet undefeated, guys. Remember that. Speaking of undercover, man, there was some good nuggets. And Coach, just you know what? This is what I like. I like it when especially when ex-college coaches come on the Chop Shop and they're candid.
Yeah.
And they are telling the damn truth.
Right.
Think about what this and this is what and that's why I tell Coach. I just got one before you even come on. I got one thing. You got to be honest.
I got one for Coach though, Coach. Before we click out,
Yes,
Coach, what was Chris' last name? Chris, which Chris?
Harris.
Who? Chris Harris.
Oh, my Chris Harris from Hightower.
Chris Harris. Yeah, from Hightower. That's what he just talking about.
That's my man.
Yeah, he broke it down, and that made sense. Expose yourself in the fall so you don't end up getting exposed in the spring. When you end up going to 10, 12 unsigned senior showcases, then after they don't work, people feeling like it's a racket, like people trying to take your money, when the truth be told, hey, man,
Coach,
that's some good stuff.
Coach, walk me through it again, Coach. Coach, Chris Harris played on a team that I watched Chris play. At least, I don't know how many games they played. 20. I know at least watched him play 20 games. Walk me through how did Chris come to you? How did you and Chris hook up? How did that happen?
He came to my fall camp.
Okay, and where was it located at?
I'm gonna have a camp this Saturday, and I'm passionate. I'm glad Mr. Hicks got me on the show. I got 12 kids signed up.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not gonna stop. If you're talking about money makers, I can bullshit. Hey, remember, I'm a recruit coordinator. If I want to sell gold, remember, I won 9 conference championships as a recruit coordinator. 9.
No,
I worked for 3
Coach.
years.
We just trying to figure it out, Coach. We just trying to. Our service is the service to community.
Chris was smart. He came to the fall camp. His mama didn't understand some of my rankings or my system and all that, but she understood that I, coached her brother and had the best interest for Chris. Then he came to the midseason camp at St. Thomas, and
ultimately, and I like to come back on the show and get a better format as far as you guys know what I'm trying to do because it's too important for kids. And then in the spring, Chris led his team and quit trying to outplay a player he can never outplay.
Okay.
Period. He's that. All the mom did was trust. I'm not going to do all that for $90 for 90 more days to help a family. The kid made the right changes. He got rewarded. My best interest, I'm not like a guy. I used 21 years of how I sent you money and moved your name up the board on the back end after a camp if you get early. And then I promote you when you make progress. That's why I keep the profiles in my system after a camp. I don't care if there's 25 guys there Saturday. If 5 can play and I keep them in my system and somebody's looking for a wing that's, again, I call it the NLS. If you look at the kids I work with, they don't understand. It's called NLS. Parents don't. The parents like the highlights. They need that. They like the profiles. They pay for that. NLS is what is your need, and this really matters. What does a college coach's need in 2021 or 2022? I take both of those at my camp, Mr. Providing a credible lead. I don't care if the dad says you don't think he's D1. The dad doesn't have to know that I think he's D2, and this is best chance for his son to get money. So I share that kid when I get that hit. And then style of play. I'm not going to send a damn good slow white boy who's great at pick and pop to a team that I know plays pressure defense when they ask for a lead.
Right.
So how am I going to do evaluation? My camps are a tool for me to take an evaluation, see all the best things in Chris or Kellen Amos. Houston's been good to me as far as an old coordinator. And so it's more of just a numbers game for a lot of those kids, but a lot of things they're paying for a lot of noise, but I'm going to stay firm and not sell gold. Believing one day the good Lord will, I can show you hundreds of testimonies. I haven't charged a lot, but I'm tired of people making thousands of dollars. And what he said, he's talking about questions. All they ask me for when I first meet them, where's his profile? And I'll say, look, if you want me to send this profile to 200 people, you're talking to the wrong guy. I'll send it to 4 people. You can have access to it when I get the exact film I want that best represents your son. So I don't have it out there because the pandemic shut down 7 of my 8 camps.
Waiting on him to come back up, and he just explained to him one thing he just said. He don't send that report out to 200 coaches. He's going to pick the 4 or 5 or maybe 6 or maybe even 2 that will probably like that kid as a college coach. And this is, let me tell you why this is very important. People send reports to college coaches all the time. In most cases, the parents don't get to see what the recruiting analyst or the scouting service sends to the college coach. 90% of the time, the general public are immune or are not applicable to that process. That's very important because because that guy would not get your business anymore. Sometimes if you actually knew what he said or did not say to that college coach in writing about your son or his performance, or I say, guess what? And he might be telling 100% the truth. But as the parent, you guys felt that you didn't pay your money for the truth. Some of y'all paid y'all money to go
very good with people without having a lot of marketing background to push my content. But if you've come to a camp, I've had overwhelming support on my camp. So all I've done, like a good coach, is I spent 2 years of doing clinics and free seminars. And if you're a good coach, you eliminate what's bad, you find what's good. What wasn't working was 2 years ago, me trying to coach them. I didn't have money in them anymore. Seriously. I had to change my mindset, change my model, because I didn't have 35,000 in them. I didn't have film that night and sit in his dorm. I didn't have that relationship. So as my model changed, I wanted to find an avenue. So when you see Strive for the 9, what I've done, and this is 2 years, over 2 years, I thought the model's been perfected enough from the camp standpoint and what I wanted for kids of all ability. The first 3 hours, if you win one of the segments, so you're also getting a better evaluation of the kid of where he's strong and weak. But if you win, you're in. There ain't a parent, there ain't a coach, and that was my way of not coaching and see who really competes. Because goddamn it, I don't understand how people get this so complicated with the transfer portal and everything else and the numbers. Yes, college coaches are concerned. Yes, they call you about motor. Yes, they want to know about mindset. Yes, that improves your stock. I encourage to improve your stock. I say be selfish all the time to kids. They don't know what be selfish means. I say take advantage of being the best communicator. Take advantage of being a great student. Be unselfish with your team.
Yeah, but be selfish in your role, I guess. I think that was Coach. I sure want to hear that. I want to hear that other one, Coach. Coach, I'm trying to, man. Coach, well, we got to get. I think he's back. Okay, Coach.
And yeah,
Coach,
he's back.
Coach, what's the last thing you said? What you said? Don't be selfish with your team, but be selfish where?
With how hard you lift.
Okay.
How do people not get that? How hard you work on defense.
Okay.
Here's what I use.
Okay.
When I talk to parents to pay for services and thousands of dollars, first of all, you got to have talent. At Texas State, I used to tell them at our junior elite camp, I'd ask the kids, how many want to play college basketball? There's 4 kids in a elite camp at Texas State. How many hands went up?
All of them.
400. That's who the Sharks are selling to. That's who they're selling to. So if I can find a kid like a Harris, a Braylon Haynes, somebody at my camp, and they're going to follow the guidelines, and I can promote the best of them, and they can eliminate the worst of them, they did that. And 60 to 80 kids that I worked with.
There you go again, Coach.
Yeah, don't worry with you. Hey, you ever had you ever had an old bad lawnmower? You get that lawnmower running out of gas. That lawnmower got a bad plug. You gonna hit it, go with that high piece of grass. Lawnmower gonna cut off. That's what just happened. So then you got to go pull that string, get it cooked again. Let's go. We almost done cutting the yard, Coach. Because we gonna push the lawnmower slow.
Come on, Coach. You just. Coach, your internet right there, you remember it ain't that good, so you got to get everything you in. Okay. Come on.
Mr. Hatter.
Yeah.
That's because I'm living in a little bitty shack like Rocky Balboa, charging $90 following a dream because I know it's going to work.
No, Coach. No, it ain't yours, Coach. It ain't yours. Hey, Coach, mine messed up.
Hey, I'll show you my crib.
No, Coach.
I'll show you where I live.
Coach, mine messed up the other day, Coach. My internet messed up the other day, and I'm the one doing the show. So,
Mr. Hatter. I have done this for 3 years, free clinics, free seminars, because it matters to a vast majority of kids.
Gotcha.
I would not do this charging $90 and not selling my connections. There's different people. You got to follow your heart in life. You got to follow how God made you. I was different, uncommon as a coach, averaging 118. People telling me you can't take this kid or that kid. You can't take Robert Martinez. Hell, Robert Martinez was a 4-year. They screwed up on Robert Martinez back in the day. A kid at Chavez. He made me a champion. That's a perfect example. The same kids I identified when I was a coordinator that people question, is he big enough? Robert was a winner. I don't know if y'all remember that team that almost beat Hightower. Robert Martinez had Jamal Fitton. I like Robert. Nobody wanted Robert. Robert's a winner.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the class of 2009.
Coach, I'm a boy. Coach, we're going. Coach, you know what? If Coach, if you had your phone, Coach, you need to try it from your phone, Coach. I think you'll be
try
a lot
from your
better.
cell phone. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Try to go from your cell phone, Coach, and you come in from your cell phone, and that probably give you probably work better with that than anything else. Make sure your cell phone is connected to you.
Coach, call us from your cell phone. Could you go to your email and your cell? Hook us up from your cell phone and try that. Okay, I'm waiting on you.
And then meanwhile, we
yeah. All right.
You
know what I'm talking about, Coach?
We recap.
Just come through on the same thing with your cell phone. Yeah.
Some of the things that he's going over. This is
Jimmy.
He's talking about and about camps. And a lot of people understand, if you missed it or if it was chopping, he provided a way where certain people, he called them sharks, would prey on kids just because they want to get those numbers. And you prey on those kids and make those kids believe. And once again, it fits in hand in hand. You try to make those kids believe that the coach that's coming is coming to see their kid, and they really got and they really got a shot. And guess what? And in some cases, it is what it is. But a lot of times, the parents are not aware. We understand that, but they are led to leading them to believe something that totally ain't true. Is another thing.
Can we take a quick break, Jimmy?
And that's the thing, huh?
Can we take a break? Can we take a quick break?
We can take one and that way we can get
it's gonna be quick.
Coach back in.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, you guys get your questions together. And you have some for Coach, because we're only going to go about 15 minutes into the hour of overtime. We'll be right back on the Chop Shop.
I got him in there. Oh, let's go. Let's 20 minutes of the day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks. We got Coach. I got him in this. Coach, I got to bring him back in. I'm waiting on him to get. He's there, but his phone is on, but he's not there yet, Coach. So, Jimmy, you can segue until he get in there.
Yeah, and so waiting on Coach to come back and join us. I want to get you guys to understand that in this basketball stuff, once a kid get to the 11th to 12th grade, going into the 12th grade season after that, some of the 11th grade, a lot of people realize that's the light, the empty low fuel light starts to come on. And a lot of parents will be at the point where they start thinking, I've invested all this money. At first it was just to have fun. But then at some point around about middle school, I was led to believe that he had a chance. And I believed in this guy, that person, saying that he has a chance, because guess what? He might have been one of the better kids at that point. And here we are 5 years later and spending thousands upon thousands of dollars. I did not save for college for my kid. That ain't your public business, but that's how some parents feel. And as a result, not saving, now I done went this far, I'm all in. And as they are all in, now it's time to get serious. They don't need to be lied to no more at that age. You can make them think that Santa Claus is coming through the roof, through the chimney that you don't even have in your house, a fireplace. And you can make them believe that when they're little. You can tell them the story about a little engine that could and make them think that rabbits lay eggs when they're a little younger. That's coochie coo time.
But Jimmy, Jimmy, I love that soliloquy. We're going to get that one. But Coach, we got Coach. Let's get Coach as much as we can get him in there. Let's get Coach in. Coach is back. Coach, say something so we can know you're there.
I'm here.
Okay. Your cell phone is better than all of them, Coach. So let's go, Coach. Where were we at when you were off, Coach? Where were we at when we left the conversation? Where were we?
Well, I mean, we're talking about my background. I mean, I've been. It's been a hard.
We passed that.
Because of the
where we are now is some of your questions that the parents ask you. So what are some of the questions, the most common or most intriguing questions?
Here's a simple one that you'll like, Mr. Hicks. I mean, I always say, well, what are college coaches looking for? Now, we know obviously you got to have talent. That's, again, something that I try to do with the camps. But I used to say when I was in a year or two when I was doing select 6 or 7 years ago, again, I couldn't do 25 teams. And there are good people that can run big organizations. I had one team for my son and a couple other kids, just so he understood work ethic. I didn't know if he was going to play basketball. I could care less. I want him to understand the process. You want to play? I'll show you the process. So, but one of the questions I always hear is, well, what are you looking for? I don't know how this is, again, it's complicated, but to make my point back in the day, I say, all right, I want y'all to go to, hey, go to the icebreaker. I mean, go to whatever. Go to the gas. So go to the biggest event, and I want you to find one kid. I don't care if he's off a Louisiana Dream Team all carries out the Houston Superstars, whatever. That is the best, is talented. I'm not talking about the high ranked kid that somebody's going to take a chance on that's in the top 10, but he's talented enough. And then that he's a two-way player. He guards his ass off. He digs in. He competes, caring about the outcome. And then the third thing is he's a communicator. Hey, screen right, screen left. I think kids are kids. I really have. I think the social media, I think when they get to tournaments, they'll do it for me back when I trained, but they're worried about their homeboy at the end of the bench making fun of them instead of worrying about getting to their dream. I think if they could get, but what I would say with that bet is that I'll buy y'all a steak. You got 4,000 kids at the icebreaker. Find me one, and I'll go scout him tonight. And if he does the whole game, I'll buy all of y'all steaks. I ain't never lost a steak. They never found one. Javon Carter story that is up at 8 in the morning, ain't rolling his socks up. That's there to make an impression. They're playing 5-on-5, but again, that's the exposure or expose it. So I try to prep kids for each segment of my camp of what coaches want during the defensive portion, and then let them be. If two kids maybe fake it for a little bit, great. I'll tell them that. I try to prep them for an effort part of my camp and say, this really separates you. If 3 kids have never been prepped, and I'll prep them, give them some feedback, and then we start that segment. That's why I'm enjoying what I'm doing, because I think it's more about, again, I never lost that bet. A talented guy who plays his ass off on defense the whole select game, and then also you can tell he cares about the outcome. Runs over, listens to his coach. Yes, that matters if we're not going to already take a chance on you if you're not the 5th-ranked kid in Houston or below. So the vast majority of kids get lost. The uncommon approach, starting a little over a year ago, of the kids I took out of Houston, the Evan Buttses that I worked with, that I have to give them credit. They did exactly what they had to do to showcase what their best traits were, and over the course of 30 games, they eliminated what exposed them. And then I got just a couple of films I found into the hands of a team that shoots 43s. That's called a fit. If the dad, I don't talk anymore about is he D1 or not. My job is to try to help a young man get an opportunity with scholarship money. That's why I use my camps as a byproduct to get a real evaluation that really help them on the back end. There's just little things like that that I think parents, when they ask what are they looking for on the sideline, I can tell them, Jimmy, or I can run a camp that promotes that, because they don't listen. They playing hard as hell matters. Coaches have one scholarship and a job on the line, and yes, I was a guy with 5 names on the board, so I give my guys that I work with after camps all that back-end insight, not a lecture. I PowerPoint present it, and I give them insight to better their futures. I just stopped trying to care if they were going to do it or not, or stopped trying to care if a college coach was going to lose money. I just connect the dots now. That's not my choice. That's where I've changed my model. Same kind of vision 2 years ago. That's why I changed the model. It was a lot more effective in the last 5, 6 camps for both sides.
Jimmy,
Man, I'm digesting it. And you said parents sometimes they just won't listen. And why do you think they just won't listen?
I'm going to be transparent. Well, again, I won 9 championships as a coordinator. If people don't think I can sell, I can sell. I want to stay true to what I'm doing, and one day the dream will sell itself. That can help a vast majority of hundreds of kids. That's my dream. It sounds silly. I'm charging $90. I don't break the bank. I help some kids on the back end. If they're not progressing, they're not in a contract like a service. I'm dropping them. I can save a single mom money, but at the end of the day, to get to my point is, if I talk about things that expose you, every parent does not like to hear what Johnny has a problem with. Come on, Hicks. It's an easy sell to tell how great Johnny is around every curtain. That is selling the wrong thing to a poor mom that may be single. And I was a single parent mom. If my mom in the 80s was told every week they're going to get me to college, my mom would find a way to scrap up money and pay that person. She's just trying to help her son. That's my mom knew my dream. So my point is, why does it sell? Why is it hard? Because around every corner, there's billion-dollar industry selling a dream with 700,000 kids in a database. I ain't never signed a kid on from a recruiting service in my life. I get fired. Shit, I'd have lasted 2 years as a coordinator if I was sitting waiting on it. Now, if a credible source who's been pretty accurate tells me, then yes, we'll go find that profile. And then we start the research, and then we start the process. All the things outside of talent, how you're going to move up or down my board. If I have 6'2" guards on my board. And that's what we're trying to do with Uncommon. You see exposure camps, and also trying to factor in the high school coach that very few people talk about anymore, who has actually a degree and has gone to school and actually knows what kids going to play a big role for them. That's the other voice that I always try to go to. They are the guys that are coaches. I know there's a lot of people helping these kids, but everybody pays for exposure. How about be a better teammate? That's what I tell one parent. Help your high school team win this year. You're averaging 7. You can give me all the highlights that you want. And in the spring, when you're doing that, give me your information, come back to a camp. I think, yes, you have the physical ability. Go help your high school team now. Go be a great teammate. You'll increase your stock 1,000% with D2s, NAIs, D3s. Outside of the mid-major kid, you'll go up a board faster than any generation. You'll eliminate question marks that everybody has at the next level. That's what I mean by be selfish, Mr. Hatter. Go up the board. Raise your ass up the board. Say, yes, sir. Look at your coach in the eyes. Yeah. Raise yourself past her ass. Well, I'm wow. Johnny.
Wow.
Well, that's all. I've had to work for so many years getting put down like uncommon ain't nothing. I see what the large showcases have. I know the glitz and glamour, and I know what they're selling. Mm-hmm. I want to be in a lane different. I mean, I took the 3-star player in college. That was probably my thing too, man, from a perspective. I wasn't very good at the transfer, but there's a lot of ways to win. But there's very few ways outside of you if you're already known in big events, unless you're being taught to really beat the odds. And I'm trying to get a formula where you save thousands and you invest in yourself. And I just connect the dots. I also, at my events, I try to upload transcripts, EFC. You asked about scholarships, D2. Yeah, that matters. Instead of saying academics matter, I try to upload stuff before the event. So if you're one of the top kids, I can share that with coaches really quick. Because I used to come home from LA or Houston, and it took me 6 weeks to find out if I could even recruit the kid from A-Leaf Hastings or whatever. And if it took me 1 week to find out if I can sign the Georgia kid, we've already eliminated the Hastings kid. So really, it's just a way to kind of close the gap for both sides. And that's it. That's the only uncommon thing. I'm just trying to close the gap and do a lot of work on the front end before events. So,
I mean, we have a couple of questions. Melvin asked you, Coach, in your particular camps, what's the structure of your camp? Is it the pickup games? Is it any drills? Same teams, the entire camp, etc. Give us an example.
Man, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I'll be real quick. We're 48 kids. They got to be invited or have varsity honors, and you're under the radar, then you can attend. I mean, my Houston camp's open right now. Any kid with varsity honors and hungry will benefit from the camp. And then the last thing I do, and there are some very good select guys in Houston that help me with the invites. So let me make sure they're clear. They're just better at, being able to run 12 teams and do those kind of things. So they help me with invites too. There's some very good people that help me there. But the referral part is a high school coach, because I still believe with my background in the profession, no matter how many people complain that the high school coach is playing them wrong, their job is to feed their family and educate their kids. I say a recruiting coordinator's job is to wake up and bring one name back to his guy at the end of the year. So the high school coaches, if they want to refer a kid that's working his butt off day in and day out that may have a big spring, those kids are also a part of my camp. So that's how we get the 48. What I've done over 2.5 years to create the exact formula I want for these camps. And the first 3 hours, there's a skills challenge. If you're the most skilled kid, you win that amongst 40 kids. There's no denying. There's no politics. There ain't no bullshit agendas. You go through about 4 different things where you're playing against everybody else, because sometimes people love skill and IQ. If you win it, you're one of the top 9 kids that are going to play in the 5:30 game. The second part is the will challenge. If you don't know what will is, because that's never displayed unless you internally have it at large showcases that just play games or at big tournaments, unless you internally have it. The will part, I mean, it's all intangibles. Offensive rebounds, defender, whatever. That's the only way you can score. If you win that, there's one kid out of the will challenge. That's my second name. And then I do a defensive stops, because yes, this ain't football. I say this at every camp. I don't have a huddle every time. You got to make a damn layup, and then you have to guard. You got to make a layup and guard. You got to hit a jump shot and guard. You go defense, offense. So you fools that don't think a two-way player matters, you'll triple your recruitment. You'll triple your recruitment. Be selfish. Start guarding the best player on your team if you're average 18 and used to with no recruitment. So that third part, I give the guys who may be college defenders but don't have a jump shot yet. There are a place for those kids that nobody really showcases. They have a chance in my camp to showcase. I'm the baddest boy here. I can lock people down. I'm going to help them, man. I need a defender, coach. I signed the guy averaging 20. So that's there's the next 3 names. How many names I got? 5. And then I pulled something out of the All-Star game, being inventive like a coach, where it was like they made the All-Star game more competitive by going to score. So I do a 4-on-4 segment, and we go to it's timed, and it's single elimination. And I tell all the parents and coaches, if you can't play hard in single elimination, you can't play. This is single elimination, and we're going to first one at 11 or 4 minutes. Now, what does that do? So I don't have to coach them. I'm being positive with the kids. I'll prep them before each bit. Hey, go for it. If he said got his hands on his knees, this is competition. Wear his ass out. If he's hunched over because he ain't in condition, that nothing else is going to expose, and then I can help that kid afterwards and touch his mom on the shoulder and touch that kid. Say, you died down halfway through the camp, but yet you want me to get you on the visit? That's why I don't like placing kids. I know enough people that say, hey, call West Texas or Kingsville or Sam Houston State. But if I did that and they're on an official visit and that's what they look like halfway through an official visit, they're done. They don't get that chance back. So it's not about being mean. It's about helping that kid in the fall who's hunched over and telling say,
Coach. Coach.
Yeah, that's Coach Russell and Landingham, and he's right there. And now we're getting a little turbulence from the audio side with him.
And then we play 5-on-5 showcase the talent, a round robin game, and whoever has the best record in the round robin, that's how I get to my top 9. The winner of that game is my top 9 that gets the free profiles sent to 500 coaches. I'll do a write-up on them. They're in prep hoops. Coach Arch with Forever Young Films, man, he does a great job. I'll do all that for free. They've earned that. $90. I got 9 kids signed up right now. I've been promoting them forever because I'm not promoting gold. But the kids that came last year, the kids that followed the plan, God bless them. God bless their families. They're in school right now. So I've tried to design something for a vast majority of kids, and I tried to design something over 5 years because you hear a lot of the word unfair when parents get past their senior year. And I wanted every kid to have a fair shot. I just have real good resources and tools to keep that kid in my system in the top 9. So if it's January, like Chris Harris or Butts, the coach can share film when they're playing on a much higher level, and I can upload that and send it to 3 guys or 5 more guys. It's not a one-day hit or miss.
As you guys can see, there's a lot of components and variables that go into this recruiting process and for unsigned seniors. And this stuff, input equals output. And the thing is, as Coach just said, $90. I mean, and if you win, you one of the 9 finalists of winning at his camps, you get your profile is comprised for you. So, and that profile, so when you say a profile that go to the college coaches, remember, and once again, earlier they missed, you don't just get in and just shoot it out to everybody. Because some college coaches, if they see a name, they don't have time to go after every one of those names on the report, right?
You're asking about parents right there. That's what they have a real hard kickback where I lost any chance to gain any kind of like say because they're going to pay for profiles. And I try to tell every parent. And when I was a college coach, if I saw Johnny's profile 6 times, I'm a human being. College coaches talk to coaches, whether it's right or wrong. Let's say Chris Harris, I may have wrote him off and said he ain't a scholarship player. If I'm seeing this stuff from a service every week, the same kid, I'm talking in the same hotels, the same bars, the same breakfast places, and we're talking about kids. So you'll hear that on different things about coaches talk to coaches. They'll talk to credible resources for a long time, but at the end of the day, they talk to coaches. And so if you push the profile over and over as a D1 kid, whether you're right or wrong, then I may have told 20 people that kid ain't got a chance in hell. Well, maybe he does in January or February when he's getting D2 interest right now, if you get it in the right hands. But my deal as a coordinator is trying to make sure on the profiles that I keep it throughout the year. When they progress, and I'm going to give them all the kind of insight and back-end tricks, then I can take one film and showcase the best of them to a style of play that plays a 4-out, 1-in and needs that kind of kid. I just want to keep them in my system, and I want to create an avenue where winning is important, yes. And select ball, the one problem I have, even when I was doing it, it's win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. And they wonder what they're looking for on the sideline. Well, you better be the most talented then. You better already be getting an offer. And even those kids, I'll tell the higher ranked kids, you're either transferring to NAI after a year if you don't learn when you get out of this environment, or you're staying up there in Texas or Oklahoma. But it's going to happen. You're going to have to go through this at some point, being a guy who's had money and been in those meetings for over 2 decades. The uncommon approach, my camps, the way I try to do it, is make sure I prepare them, but I don't fight noise anymore, and I don't try to explain. I just really, really go beyond for the kids that understand it. That is huge. You're going to have to win in life. You're going to have to win when you get to school if there's money involved because somebody wants that money. So outside of the obvious talented guys, that right there, I think, is a formula I've always kind of dreamed of. It's taken me 5 years, besides giving speeches and telling people what's important, to just have a formula and a back-end formula to save parents money and promote and help kids that really are kind of doing everything they do to really play basketball. I know what the 400 hands in Texas State camp means. That's an easy sell if I wanted to be an agent type guy. It's just not the way I was built. I want to help kids and help mamas.
I got a question. Did Deuce Guidry, somebody said that Deuce Guidry attend one of your events? If you remember the name.
Yeah, 2 years ago when I was doing it part-time. My dumbass went full-time and put all my chips on the table the year of a pandemic. I was hoping for March to May, or I'd have some better graphics, which is important.
No, Coach. No. I said the Deuce Guidry, this player.
Yeah, can I?
Deuce Guidry.
Maybe he did. I'm not sure.
Okay, they just asked. Okay.
That name sounds familiar. Did he come to my March 7th camp?
I don't know. Somebody just asked it. Did he?
Yeah, he's from Dickinson High School. He's about 5'8", 5'9". I'm sorry, and played on Dickinson, the team that advanced to state.
Katie on Saturday.
No, he good now.
And he recently got accepted as a walk-on spot at Texas State. But at the same time, this kid Deuce Guidry had an offer on the table from Lamar State Port Arthur 1 year ago in the fall, right prior to going into his 12th grade year. They ignored that offer and took a gamble on himself and went right into, nobody predicted the pandemic would come, and because he could have, nobody predicted that. Nobody saw that coming. So situations where what is your advice or your thoughts on kids going into that last year who don't have any Division I offers? They have a little interest, but then a non-Division I school comes in with the offer, and to try to get them, what should that parent do?
Go where you're wanted, man. Go where you fit academically, athletically. At the end of the day, you can never go wrong if your heart is saying go where you want it. There, at Division One and even Division Two, man, being a walk on, that's a hard path. That's a really hard path for a kid, in my opinion. I mean, to find his way up to the roster and all that. But I'm a big firm believer of go where you're wanted, go where you're needed. Whoever's shown the most interest in you, if they've got the academics and you can afford to go there, you'll have a much better experience at the next level over the next 4 years. Or you'll slide into a kind of a transfer deal, and it's just a tough deal. I don't recommend I mean, percentage-wise, I would not recommend a Division One walk-on spot. I mean, unless they're like I said, going to be, unless it's a mid-major transfer, something like that. Kid should have went JUCO and got better at the things that he should have got better at. That probably would have maybe got him a D1 offer, in my opinion.
Man, it's this, as you guys can see, this is not an easy road. This is not a just add water type situation as far as this process. And a lot of times, many people think just because they go into an exposure camp that they are doing the camp operator a favor, and a scholarship or an offer should immediately come as a result in exchange of. That's not the case. That is not the case. And you guys, coaches, you guys, one of the things, you guys are strapped budget wise when you were a college coach. Every school didn't have the same budget to fly in and fly out. So when you come to a city like Houston, are you coming to recruit one player, or are you coming to just find or would you rather come when it's time for an event like a Gasso or something, or an unsigned senior showcase? Which one, how does it work for the economics as far as when people know, how do you choose which, where, and when to go to those cities?
Well, for me, I mean, what I'm doing now is like totally different. Like I said, and more than I do is I come to like Houston or Dallas and I got something scheduled in Oklahoma. And
no, I'm talking about when you were a college coach. No, I'm speaking when you were a college coach.
That's what I'm trying to do. Like I say, it's really hard to have a limited budget at the non-D1 levels and go. That's what we all started to talk about. That's why I've created this model. I flipped the script, and it's of I've been there, and I have to spend 3 days out here, and I really don't go back with anything different knowledge-wise than the two guys we already wanted. And I'm intended 4 things. And the two guys I've already researched. So for me, what I'm trying to do with my platform is to help all those guys out at all those levels with my back end system, the way I can upload and go into an event, stab with college coaches, and maybe have 40, 48 kids and discover 15 or 20 that have a real shot. And then make sure those coaches who have limited budgets have access to that kid, have a good write-up, have an in-depth assessment so they know style of fit. So really, the things that I would lose money on, that's another reason that I've worked so hard to create this formula that's like 90 days of exposure, not 9 hours. That's why it's so important for me to get down there and maybe discover, and I'm working hard and inviting kids, maybe discover 14 to 18 I don't know, and get them on some radars and get them in my system. So it's hard because budget are limited. I know what college coaches are sick of, and it's just kind of hard for me to say online because I don't want to put anybody on a bus, but they're sick of shitty, bad basketball if they're driving with bad budgets of 5-on-5 bad basketball all day long, 3-game guaranteed. We do play 5-on-5, but I want them to get a bigger evaluation and assessment if they do a live stream at my camp. I want to have an evaluation that's much more in depth so I can target the right fits. And then at the end of the day, that's the hardest thing is going to 3 events and they're playing 5-on-5 basketball a day. Again, there's some kids that are internally driven that stand out, but if I don't already like you, I'm not really going to get many more names out of those kind of scenarios based on college coaches' feedback. And that's why I've continuously got their feedback when I've created this model.
Hey man, we definitely appreciate it, Coach Russell Van Landenham, dropping the nuggets on the recruiting in the hopes of helping to enhance the understanding of just a small portion of how this stuff goes and how it can go for some of you guys out there who may end up experiencing the situation with an unsigned senior or an unoffered player going into his final year of eligibility. Coach, we thank you for joining us on the Chop
Thank
Shop.
you. I wanted to say when I say I got 9 guys registered. I always say, like when I was a coach, if there's 30 there, all these people worry about perception and, oh, we got, well, yeah, you put the 3 biggest names up and it draws all the parents. Yeah, you put them out there, but shit, I got you. I got 9 guys registered. If you're a family out there listening, I'm going to keep working this week and keep inviting. You'll know the difference immediately. If you're a child who thinks it's been unfair, who you go to uncommonbasketball.com and register, or at SA_get_recruit is my Twitter. That's at student athlete. Because if you ain't a student, you only got one choice, which is JUCO. It ain't no speech. It's a fact. I know they've eliminated stuff. But let me just make that point before people always ask that. That's a big question. Does academics really matter? Yes, at West Texas, Division II. If you cost me 0.76 and the exact same talent cost me 0.94, I'm scratching you that day. That's why I put the transcript. I want to know that you cost me less. It's an equivalency in Division II. They have 10 offers, but I can stretch it to 13 kids in D2, unlike D1. That's the knowledge I do at the end of my camps. I give free seminars because I know there's half the families paying a recruiting service that never saw their kid in person. They have no clue. I always say, how are you paying anybody if they've never seen you in person to help you? I mean, so I give a free seminar on scholarship breakdowns in my fall camp. So more for understanding to help parents and players when they leave have time to fix it. Just have time to fix it before. It's really hard when they came to me and said, Jim, I said, hey, can you help me find a place? And my heart was right when they come to me a month after their senior year, but it's hard to fix all that then. Fall camps, we do a free seminar afterwards to give the parents, because I know they're paying somebody that they've never heard of. What happens? What phone call do you think I make? Hall of Famer taught me this. That's at Texas Tech now. One of the assistants when I was working with them at West Texas. Ask the kid 3 questions and then scratch them off the board. I'm not gonna tell you those. I said I was too stupid when I was young and signed the best player in America from Georgia, and he went home after 2 weeks. He said, "Didn't I tell you to ask those 3 questions?" So now I know that. So I've been through, and he goes, find out who the major voice is. I don't care if it's an uncle, aunt, mentor. Call them and ask these 3 questions. I'm not gonna give it here because you need to. I'll give those kind of questions, not a script that you get from a service that anybody can script or a stat that you know. 3 questions that maybe a coach is asking you that you don't know what the answer, even if and who's the mentor that they're going to talk to and why. Mr. Hicks and Mr. Hatter, because I was too dumb when I was a young coordinator. I figured it out. They go, we got an hour a week their first time away from home. They're going to talk to that voice 90% of the week. I want you to ask these 3 questions. I only got one offer. You want to learn what those questions are? Sign up for the camp. It's $90.
What's your contact? What's your contact information, Coach?
At SA, at student athlete score get recruited.
Say it slow. Say it slow, Coach.
Uncommonbasketball.com.
Okay.
And I don't mind giving my cell phone. People are hit me up on my cell phone, 210-367-2140. And then my Twitter's at SA_get recruited. I hope to get 35 or 40 by the end of this week. I'm going to call day and night the coaches and kids. And if we get them out there and I can discover 10 to 15, and everybody at the camp learns how to be better in the spring when it really matters, especially in this pandemic, guys, then that's a success for me. And eventually I hope, like I said, that it is a model where better players do come. If you don't think I want Division I caliber players to come to bump their level up too, because it matters just maybe even more. Because that's a hit or miss in D1. I can't split scholarships. It ain't equivalency. I gotta love you by my write that check or
You know what that means, Jimmy? You know what that means, It's time to slide on down Dino's back and y'all do the thing for the Chop Shop on this Monday. We definitely appreciate everything and everybody out there. Thanks so much for everybody for tuning in and enduring the audio turbulence.
Yeah.
Make sure also, if you hadn't done so, like our new Facebook page.
Yes.
And that understand a lot of the normal Chop Shop contingent of the Boom Boom Room were absent from today's session and episode. Make sure you reach out to some of your people and share the show with them so that they can be able to know. Remember, some people looking at the previous Facebook page, and we are on the other one. Remember, D Chop Shop Htx. Separate the words now. It's not all one word anymore. D Chop Shop Htx. No more unofficial. We are the official. However, we need you guys to help get the word and recirculate the word and go on. That's part of the growing pains of when you're doing well. Now they say, okay, let's see if we can do it again. And guess what? We'll do it again and duplicate those numbers in the upcoming days.
Yeah, we'll be out.
As they approach. Don't forget also on tomorrow, you guys remember that HBCU conversation we're going to reignite since they're out the bubble. Remember last year, one of the top players in the country had offers from a lot of the Power 5 schools across the country. He chose to go to HBCU in basketball. And even then, a lot of people around the country doubted that the kid would even enroll in school. They said it was just a ploy. It was just a stunt. And that was McCure Maker going to Howard University. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I got the head coach from Howard University, the head coach, the HNIC, coming to join us on tomorrow for a conversation. And he's going to talk about that and a lot more because McCure Maker is on campus.
Yes, he is.
He is in class.
Yes, he is.
At Howard.
Yes,
so now he remembers, and this, let me tell you something. This coach right here, he ain't holding nothing back. So stay tuned for that convo on tomorrow. And
Jimmy,
also,
help me out,
we got
and all of you HBCU alumni who talk about this guy was doing this for publicity stunt and all of that, please, y'all tell them to come on the show tomorrow. Please, I want all of them guys. They know who they are, but I know it. I just can't. I hate it that we can't. And Jimmy, I tell you something else a little bit about Facebook too. But y'all, that's why I says come over and always subscribe to the Facebook page. I mean, the YouTube page. Because if we having these problems, we're not gonna listen to me. The Chop Shop. If we have to get our own website and broadcast it from our own website, we are not gonna let nobody hold us hostage, man. We're not gonna let nobody hold us hostage about what we can do and what we can express. So that's something that I'm thinking about in the future right now. So Facebook, I mean, y'all like it, y'all can keep, but I am not gonna keep letting them hold us hostage. We got a word that Jimmy, I got to go. I got to give you this. This letter that was written to us after the show the other day. And I got to share this with our people, but this is what we're going to go home with. We're going to go home with this one. Let me show. It gave me, a nice little, okay, here it is. Check this out, y'all. I went back and watched the show of last Thursday. And I wanted to thank Jimmy for that 20-minute plus soliloquy sermon about unnecessary, unethical practice by some event operators right here in our own city. Yesterday's show is the exact reason why you both tell us to share the show. Jimmy dropping nuggets and knowledge that inspiring operators and many parents should hear. You added, I guess you're talking about me, your commentator when he was done. My commentary when he was done. Many watchers don't realize that this is not solely for financial benefits of the show when you share it. Let's get that straight. You don't have, there's no financial benefit when you share this show. I'm glad he said that because I didn't realize people thought like that. Wow, thank you, person. He didn't give me a permission to publish his name, so I'm not. There is a wealth of helpful information on a variety of topics that could very well help someone who may not be around to see it live from 2 to 12 to 2. By sharing it, you feel there's something important that was discussed that could possibly benefit and bless someone in your social circle of important people in your lives. I know I'm not alone when I say this, but I appreciate the show. I appreciate you both. On behalf of every listening ear or watching set of eyes, thank you for the daily sacrifices you bring to the Chop Shop. Wow. Jimmy, I wouldn't gonna go another day without reading that message to y'all. This is what it's all about. It ain't no financial benefit to us. Because sometimes I know when people feel it's a financial benefit to some other people, they won't help. They won't do it. Man, we got to wake up, man. We got to just wake up and just understand the sacrifices all of y'all make. Especially the sacrifices, man. And we done went over 40 minutes today, Jimmy. Let me tell you something, Jimmy. You don't have no son that's going to benefit. My son is out of college. It's for y'all, man. For y'all. So figure out a way. I don't know how we're going to do it because we have to share this show and make sure people, because if Slim McDaniel, as bright as he is, had a hard time finding the show today, that means he didn't see the tweet. He didn't see the Instagram. I put it on every bit of social media, but I know it takes time because everybody don't look at this stuff every day. But the Chop Shop, y'all, has just moved over to another page. We ain't changed nothing. But we don't have the ability to get in another page. And I like to share that with y'all because I understand the people that on this show today, I know who y'all are. Believe you me, I got a record of everybody who was on this show today. Got a record of it. I got the analytics. I got the analytics. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And we got greater, that's this thing you're doing tomorrow with this coach. It's unbelievable. Jimmy, think about it. Somehow, I want us to start appreciating this platform because let me tell you something. It's a powerful man came on this thing last week. I don't care what you don't like about him. I don't know what. He don't give everybody interviews. He don't come on everybody's shows no more. LeVar Ball, he came on this show. Come on, man. Y'all, hey, man. I know it. It's just little old Jimmy and little old Robert from the neighborhood. But no, the platform, y'all, is more important than any of us. So let's make sure the platform is okay. So Jimmy, you want to add anything? I listened to all that other stuff. I had to make sure we did some house cleaning today and make this thing happen. What else you got?
Oh, it's time to get up out of there. I got to go. Speaking of time, now I got to go and promise the coach that I'm putting the schedule together for the CE King Fall High School Shootout, which is this weekend. Wow. And they hired the RCS Sports scheduling services to provide to comprise the schedule. Right. Schedule will be out before dark this evening. So I got to put a schedule together from scratch from 30 some odd teams. Well, no, not 30 teams. I think yeah. No, 27 teams. They'll put the schedule for. And some teams have special requests.
Gotcha.
And they can't play on this time, can't play on that time. I got to go do all this stuff in a second. So that's, understand, doing this stuff, and it needs for you guys to understand the Chop Shop, this is not a gang where all members have to wear the same color handkerchief coming out of their pocket or wrapped around your head.
Right.
It's okay for some people to not have like thoughts to come into the boom boom room. As long as you keep it above the belt.
Respect.
And at the same time, you don't have to go and agree. Think about it like this. For sports shows, if you're a sports fan, it's safe to say that one of your favorite sports shows is either talking about year round. I'm not going to even include the TNT halftime report. I'm not going to even include that. Okay. Talking about year round.
Okay.
Either it's going to be First Take or the Undisputed.
Okay.
All right. That's with Shannon Sharp or the Stephen A. Smith. So that means when you look on, if that's for most sports aficionados, that's probably their top. One of those shows is probably the tops. Well, no things be so funny. You ask that same person, question number 2. Do they like both guests? Are they really a fan of both guests? You got some folk who love Skip Bayless. They think Shannon Sharp just talk too damn much. Or he do all this other stuff, and he do all his he put skull caps on and bring Hennessy out there. That's so they don't like that.
Yeah.
Or they love Shannon Sharp, and they don't like Skip because he got a life sentence with some people from his days with Stephen A. Smith. Right. That spearheaded this whole opportunity of talk shows. That's opened the door for dozens of them on various networks. It started debate. That was the first debate show on a daily basis ever for sports talk.
Right.
So now, or you don't like Max Kellerman, you might like Stephen A. Vice versa. But you will hardly ever find somebody that say, man, you know what? I like both of them dudes.
Y'all know. It's both.
So why is that rule, the two-headed, why is that not applicable for the Chop Shop? You got to like both of us. You ain't got to like both of them, though. And you like this show. But you got to like him and you got to like me. You don't care for him, so I ain't going to watch it. You don't care for Max ass, but you still watch Deep Sport First Take? So that means I understand the game. That means there's always a difference between the reason and the excuse. You can't trick me. Can't trick me like that. So I'm paying attention. That's why I tell people, pay attention. Pay attention. It got some of you guys to the point, some folk out there to the point where y'all treating the Chop Shop like we the fat cheerleader. You want to sneak and creep with us in the dark. But you don't want no partners to see you live on the segment, so you ready to go watch in the dark. I don't understand. Some people can't watch it at work, but I understand. I know it. And guess what? So now you know why? Because what does that say about you being a man? If you're gonna let a person influence you, where you got to make him think, because you're gonna maybe compromise your friendship by going and watching the Chop Shop. That means you yes. Or you not a yes man? You doing that?
Wow.
That's one step above, or maybe even below abroad. If you're a guy and you can't want nobody to know that you're watching the Chop Shop. Or you thinking that you watching the Chop Shop, once again, benefits us financially. We don't have no contract with Facebook. We didn't have that many viewers like that to go and get a deal. We don't get a deal like we're not LeVar Ball. We're just trying to go and create and produce a product. But guess what? People know about it.
Yes.
You guys know that.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. You go and you try to, man, you know, I ain't gonna let them see me on there.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So what some people do, they come on this Facebook feed and you know, some pin on your device, you can remain, if you don't make a comment or if you don't let them know, they will ask you, say something so that people know you there.
Right.
And sometimes you can pin on your device, you can log on, which there are dozens of people, hundreds of people that does that every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And understand, trust me, I've some people do it because if you're a school teacher, some people, then you may know another school teacher from the same school may know about the Chop Shop, and you don't want them to know you on there because that means you're supposed to be doing your virtual teaching. So how the hell you gonna be doing on the Chop Shop and they know you on here making comments? So that's why some people at work, same thing. But I'm talking about the ones, and you guys know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not who, but you know some of the people of whom I'm talking about. I don't want to go over there.
Yeah, I want.
Know what that means? That means the Chop Shop is so damn good, you got to sneak in. That's what it means. That's what it means.
I didn't know you was
every time you creep your ass up in here and because you know everything that goes on for a God, and you there. And guess what? Those of y'all that know me,
don't mention one of them's name.
They'll start talking right away.
They come right. They pop right up on. They pop right on there. Quick.
You know why? Because they watching already. Remember, I always told y'all, and I leave you guys with this. This is what I say. And I tell people, and this giving up the game with me. If you got an event and you really want me to attend the event, to cover your event, your camp, you really want me to cover your camp so you can capitalize and get more kids to pay because you're going to say RCS Sports is going to be there. I understand. But if you really want to capitalize, schedule me to speak and watch if I turn it down. That's how you do. So I know the game. If I want I know people that's on there watching. If I really want them to get, all I gotta do is certain topics. I bring up certain things. I promise you, kapoof, they'll be right on there like clockwork. Now, I might just start playing that game a little more because I know some of y'all can't hold yourself. You're gonna say something.
Jimmy, and I love what you said, but I guess I'm just different. And I understand the platform, and I understand how it is important to our community. Y'all not, Jimmy, they think they're hurting us. No, you hurt your community. That's what y'all don't really understand. You hurt your community. You ain't hurting us. Because guess what? Me and him got the reach so we can do this whenever we can do it. Think about it, Jimmy. I didn't realize, Jimmy. I went and looked at these dates. Jimmy, we've been doing this thing a lot longer than I thought. I went back to some of these timelines. I've been going to my Texas, and I'm saying, hold on. It's almost 21. Jimmy, it's 4 years now. I used to keep saying 3 years, 4, almost 5. And I'm sitting there saying, wow. But you know what? We can't worry about it. I know we're not worried about them, but it is funny, y'all. Y'all, that somebody would sit up and say, man, I ain't like that nigga. So, you don't like him, then watch it, because you like me. If you don't like him or like me, watch it because you like Jimmy. Hold up. Your love's supposed to be so great for Jimmy, then it overrides me and my loud butt. Because I love your boy, Coach Wood. Coach Wood said, nigga, I'm loud in the gym. I'm loud at home. I'm loud everywhere I go. So it's unique, man. And I know y'all getting quiet. We ain't getting no comments. Jimmy, you can tell ain't no comments coming now. So it's okay, y'all. We ain't mad. Guess what we're gonna be tomorrow? Right here tomorrow. And hope our internet is working good. And hope coach, make sure coach get that information I sent you. We got a good internet. But Rick Wilmore, I know you should be laughing about this. This right up your alley. But Jimmy, let's go on. Come on, man, so we can get out of here. So you
we get time to get on up out of here, guys. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. Thanks for everybody for hanging in there for the overtime segment. And appreciate everything. You guys make sure if you got any questions, want to put something in the mailbag for Coach coming on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that is go to send an email. Remember now, on the front of our page now, especially if you're on Facebook, go right to the front of our page. You'll see an email us, blue button. Click that. It will go right into, you can send a question that you may have. You don't have to go now and forget about it. You can go right to the front of our page, hit the blue tab that says email us. And now we can go and take your questions that you may have for our mailbag. If you wish to remain anonymous, just simply let us know in the email if there's something that you want read off, and we will keep you anonymous. There's no problem doing so. But we thank you guys for your time. Time to slide on down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Monday. The Astros will tip off game 2 shortly. Hey man, I gotta go get in the Astros mode, and we'll see you guys on tomorrow. We up out of here. Peace.
Got something.
Is that me?
Oh my God.
Mom.
Back up.
That's me?
Yeah.
No, that's not.
Well.
Over there.
No, that's not you.
That is me. I swear to God, that's me.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro, let's get it. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop, we live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk, we live in the Chop